lists and sells your home for top dollar. Orchard's Move First program gives you the freedom to buy and move into your new home first and sell your old home later. Buy before you sell and get top dollar for your home with Orchard. Ready to find out how much your home is worth? Visit Orchard.com to get your free home valuation. That's Orchard.com.
Stop feeling embarrassed about thinning hair and start looking and feeling your best with Hair Grow by New Nordic. Available online at Amazon, Walmart.com, and NewNordicUSA.com, or at your local CVS.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Hi, everyone. If you've been injured in an accident that wasn't your fault, we have legal professionals standing by to answer your questions. They'll tell you if you have a case and how much it's potentially worth. Call 800-931-3030. So if you've been injured in an accident and think you deserve compensation, call now. Find out if you have a case and how much it's potentially worth. Call 800-931-3030 to speak with a live person now.
Advertisement sponsored by Legal Help Center. May not be available in all states.
Your best source for local news. KIRO Newsradio. KIRO FM and HD1. Tacoma, Seattle. Northwest News. This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Progressive Insurance.
I'm Cammie McCormick. The suspect in the attack over the weekend on a group supporting hostages in Gaza is facing federal charges, as Matt Piper reports.
The FBI says the man charged in the attack in Boulder, Colorado that left 8 people injured told police he planned it for a year and would do it again. Mohammed Salomon told investigators that he targeted what he described as a Zionist group and that he researched on YouTube how to make Molotov cocktails. The affidavit was released in support of a federal hate crime charge now filed by the Justice Department. CBS News has learned that Salomon most recently was driving for Uber.
White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt.
We know that this individual, this terrorist, was allowed into this country by the previous administration, was foolishly given a tourism visa, and then was illegally allowed to stay. These individuals are going to be deported, and we're not going to tolerate such violence in our country.
ICE Acting Director Todd Lyons today praised the surge in immigration enforcement in Massachusetts.
Significant amount of the criminal aliens that are arrested by the teams with drug traffickers, sex offenders, murderers, and foreign fugitives trying to evade justice in their home countries.
He defended the use of masks by his agents, insisting it's because they and their families have been targeted with threats. President Trump is facing the challenge of convincing Republican senators that he won't bury the federal government in debt with his tax breaks package. CBS's Caitlin Huey-Burns.
You still have some members concerned about government spending, that this bill doesn't cut enough. On the other hand, you have some lawmakers concerned about these potential cuts to Medicaid and other social safety net programs, saying that they don't want to vote for something that might cut into the programs in their states, which is significant because this is coming from some Republicans.
There is a big job ahead getting all of the problems fixed at Newark Airport in New Jersey, but Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy says there's been progress in one area.
Today we're celebrating the opening of Newark's runway. And this is a 60-day project that actually is completed 13 days early.
There's new hope for some breast cancer patients, as CBS's Elaine Cobb reports.
Pharmaceutical company AstraZeneca says its new breast cancer drug can stop mutating tumors before they start to grow. Unveiling positive trial results on patients with advanced breast cancer, the company said its camizestrant cut the risk of a tumor progressing or a patient dying by 56%, and it significantly helped improve general health and quality of life.
Checking the numbers on Wall Street at this hour, the Dow Jones Industrials are down 17 points. Investors worried about the trade tensions again. This is CBS News.
Progressive Insurance. Progressive can protect your home, auto, boat, motorcycle, ATV, RV, and more. In short, a lot of things. Bundle today at Progressive.com.
Intruders at a local school. Details coming up, but first from the Beacon Plumbing Traffic Desk. On State Route 18 eastbound, a crash is blocking all lanes at Issaquah Hobart Road. That's where traffic is being diverted right at Tiger Mountain Summit. In Bellevue, we've cleared a crash that was blocking 2 lanes on I-405 northbound near the I-90 interchange. Travel time running to Bellevue half an hour, about 15 minutes longer than usual. Traffic brought to you by Global Credit Union, where members enjoy no-fee accounts and early payday with direct deposit. Learn more at globalcu.org.
KIRO News Radio. Breaking news.
Good afternoon. I'm Heather Bosch. Security is tighter at Enumclaw High School today after a break-in over the weekend. Surveillance video caught 3 masked people, one with a handgun. Police Chief Tim Floyd.
It seems to us that maybe they were rehearsing for an active shooter event.
He says they didn't break anything or take anything.
The way they were moving about the building with the one subject with the gun, another subject was filming the entire thing. It seemed like, to us, it seems like reconnaissance.
We're putting the photos of those 3 suspects up at mynorthwest.com. Call police if you think you know who they are. Now, Floyd tells me there was not a previously known threat at the school. They boosted security, though, out of an abundance of caution. Police say a knife-wielding man stabbed a rideshare driver as the driver took a break in the parking lot of an Everett restaurant. KIRO 7 TV's Jason Sloss spoke with the man's son.
You heard the guy say, "You're dead, you're dead, you're dead," and started slicing him.
Any idea what may have provoked this?
I have no idea.
The man drove off in his dad's car. Police arrested the suspect at a Linwood Costco a short time later. A new program starts today to improve safety in Seattle's Chinatown International District. KIRO 7 TV's Brooke Griffin has more on the Community Ambassador Program.
Seattle Deputy Mayor Greg Wong says their main goal is de-escalation.
They'll be engaging primarily with the folks who are congregating in areas who may not have other things to do. And as appropriate, they may call in Seattle police or law enforcement if that's necessary.
And he tells us that they modeled this program after similar ones that have already been successful in both downtown Seattle and Ballard already.
A 6-year-old girl is recovering after she was struck while walking with her mom in a crosswalk in Seattle's Central District yesterday. This witness tells KIRO 7 TV the child was tossed into the air.
The kid's coming this way, just boom, hit her from this crosswalk to that crosswalk. She was in the middle of this one. She sprawled out.
The girl suffered no severe injuries. The driver cooperated with police and was not arrested. Officers found no signs of impairment. There was construction in the area. The Mariners took 2 of 3 games in their series against the Minnesota Twins. M's catcher Cal Raleigh continues his hot streak.
Here's the pitch. Swung on, crushed, right field. It's on its way. Goodbye.
The Mariners get the day off today. The team remains at home and begins a 3-game series against the Baltimore Orioles tomorrow. This weather update brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. Mostly sunny today with highs around 70. It's 61 in downtown Seattle. I'm Heather Bosch.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with the KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News. It's the all-new Jake and Spike Show on KIRO News Radio.
Behold, a fiendish masterpiece from the bowels of hell! Yeah. Mondays, boy, I hate Mondays. They make me so steamed. Weekends, I prefer the weekends. Son of a
And a son of a bleep to you, Spike.
Right back at you, buddy.
Happy Monday to you.
Happy Monday to you, bud.
Jake Skorheim here, Spike O'Neill there. Got your coffee. I got my coffee. We got our stories. We got Laura here.
What a day. What a day. What a day.
Ready to go. Let's go. When did that become a thing? Quick side note. Everybody saying let's go. Is that all from Mahomes? Does it all come from Mahomes? Let's go.
And I don't want to credit him with that. I think Roman centurions yelled, let's go.
He determined the hairstyle of every single youth. Every male under the age of 15 had his haircut.
Interesting.
They all do.
I think when the Visigoths came through Mongolia, they yelled, let's go. Way back when, right? I mean, I don't give that to Mahomes. I'll give him that hairstyle because nobody else wants it. But
got the hairstyle. Every kid has that hairstyle.
It's their world now. I'm just holding on by the tip of my fingers.
I got 4 sons. 3 of them have that haircut.
Really?
Only the youngest one, because he doesn't have much hair.
You should get him a wig.
He's got the Larry David haircut. He'll get it eventually, though. God willing. Cross my fingers. How was everybody's weekend? Good weekend, all? We got sunny weather. People are excited about that. Spike, you had a show Friday night.
We had a show Friday night. Thanks to everybody who came out, at the Clearwater Casino. The band played phenomenally well. Crowd was enthusiastic. It was weird, though, because we played great, and we had a great weekend. Fantastic. Sunny skies, got some yard work done. But as we're playing the show over there at the Clearwater Casino, there's like a sports bar / rock venue they have called Beach Rock.
Sure.
And I'm on stage and I'm looking at the crowd and we're playing and there's a light show and they got a smoke machine and on the back wall of the venue they got 2 bigger than life TV screens.
Yeah, like jumbotrons.
Jumbotrons, like where players are larger than human life size, that kind of thing.
Sweet.
So I'm watching the Mariners. Friday night.
Not sweet.
I'm watching the Mariners give up was it 7 in the 10th inning on Friday, whatever. I mean, that
happened on Thursday. I was at that game.
So the Friday was the 6-run 10th. They did like the same thing. And so I'm trying to sing and I'm loving the music. We're playing like AC/DC and Led Zeppelin. We're playing the Who and the Stones. We're rocking out. And I'm watching the Mariners just collapse. And I'm trying to, and it's like a train wreck. I couldn't take my eyes off of it. And I'm literally I'm trying to sing, and the band's playing, and where do I come back in on this verse, and what's the next verse? And I'm watching them. I literally had to look away and stare directly into a blinding floodlight.
That's when the professionalism and the performance kicks in.
That's it. And I'm like,
you're like, switch to Don't Stop Believing right now.
Right now, anybody.
That's tough.
So that was a weird when worlds collide moment for me.
They're playing the Orioles coming up though. People are excited about that.
Yeah, the Birds are having a stunky kind of year out of Baltimore. So I will. This is a weird week for me because I was raised an Oriole fan.
Yeah, but you've been living here for
35 years, 36 years now.
So what are your loyalties like? Usually with your childhood team, right?
It 160, 150, whatever games rest of the year, I'll root for the Orioles when they play, wherever they play.
Sure.
Still a long-distance Oriole fan. This week I'm an M's fan.
Good.
I'm rooting that first-place Mariner team a lot.
Glad to hear it.
You bet I am.
Glad to hear it. Laura, you were at a game this weekend, right?
Yeah, I was at Saturday's game. It was
okay.
a good one to be
Which
at.
was an exciting one. There's
a long one.
But there's a really cool story associated with that. There was a call-up, right? There was kind of a fairy tale. This is the thing that you want in baseball. This is why baseball is so great. We have audio, and we'll play this in a little bit. We have a video of a young guy who played for the Tacoma Rainiers. The Mariners called up mid-game. He gets word, and we have video of the coach telling him mid-game. It's fantastic. We'll play in a little bit. And then Laura also was at the game where he did something pretty phenomenal. First time in Mariners history a player has done this.
Right.
And then also Laura fell in love. So we'll tell you about that.
Which is the big story. We don't want to bury the lead.
No. We'll get into
Laura's future is now cast in granite.
Smitten.
Yeah, but Cal Raleigh made history. Guy's got more home runs than any catcher.
Pretty good.
Before the end of May in Major League Baseball history.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
What a run.
It's amazing. Amazing. So a lot of stuff to talk about today. A lot of stuff to get to. Over the weekend, I had we do a thing every Friday. If you guys don't listen to the show regularly or you don't catch Fridays, you're really missing out because we do a fun thing on Friday called Three Amigos, and it's you, me, and then Nate Connors comes in every Friday and hangs out for the whole first hour, and we just kind of have fun. But I realized, so Friday night, I get home from work Friday night, and my wife, was it Friday or Saturday? When you're a parent of young kids, it's just Groundhog Day. Everything grinds into one.
That really does.
At some point over the weekend, it was Friday.
Okay.
We had a ton of stuff on Saturday. At some point on Friday evening, my wife, I get home and she's like, hey, I'm going to run away and go do other things because she was with kids all day, which is a totally normal thing.
I totally respect that.
God bless her. Go out and do some shopping, whatever she's doing. Have some fun. Go return things from Amazon. That's her favorite hobby. So she goes and leaves the house, and so I'm got my 4 boys. I'm trying to figure out what to do with them for a little bit. So I feed them some pizza for dinner. And I realize they have never actually seen the movie Three Amigos. They had never seen it.
Okay. That's not unbelievable.
It's not unbelievable because they're tiny kids.
Yeah,
the oldest is 10, so they're just getting to the age. But that movie is so silly and so ridiculous. I figured that they would enjoy some of the jokes. And those movies from the 80s and 90s, the pratfalls and just the general silliness of them, it's just any generation can enjoy it. So I showed them the movie, and obviously I know that movie like the back of my hand. So I was waiting for the jokes and to see if they
Okay,
hit
watching
with the
them, you
kids.
were able to enjoy them. Yeah.
I had one of the best experiences. And I'd be interested in people's reactions too. Like what movies that you showed your kids where you went, oh, yes, this is great. Because this is something that I love, and now I'm seeing that they love it too.
Yeah, you bet. Passing it down generationally.
Do you have any like that? And we'll get into actual news stories here in a second. But did you, like Three Amigos for me, and there was a moment in Three Amigos where they're all coming out of the cantina. They've just arrived in wherever. And they see the little plane flying up in the sky, the mail plane. And Martin Short makes this joke.
What is that? It's a plane.
We're allowed to play this joke, right? I think so. You know how this
Yes,
is?
yes,
Okay.
yes.
Not just any plane. It's a Tubman 601. I flew one and little Nettie goes to war. What's it doing here? I think it's a mail plane. How can you tell? Didn't you notice its little balls? Little balls.
Just so stupid.
Oh, my God.
Stupid humor. Okay, so the long-winded point of the story is,
did the boys get that joke?
well, I'm sitting there watching with 3 of my boys. Oh, no, with 4 of them. But again, there's a baby.
Oh,
So
yeah,
he's just
yeah.
like, he's not getting anything. So 3 of them are watching it, 10, 8, and 5. And the 8-year-old, who is, he's very funny. You know how some kids are just like naturally just like a little bit different?
I hear you. I was
Running
a
on a
second
different level.
son. I know. I speak to this kid's life. Yeah.
We're watching this.
Uh-huh.
The 10-year-old and the 5-year-old are watching it, and they have a lot of great qualities. But they don't necessarily get the joke right away.
Okay.
Just like Steve
All right.
Martin and
Yeah.
what's his face, Chevy Chase in the movie. But my 8-year-old goes, ha! And he's just like laugh super loud.
Oh.
And I'm watching them, and I just instantly, I was just like, got all warm and fuzzy. I was like, oh my gosh, I love that this kid gets it so much. And he laughed so hard. And the other 2 are looking at him like, I don't get it. A mail plane. And then this surreal thing happened because in the movie, Martin Short is explaining the joke to the other 2 guys who don't quite get it. And then my 8-year-old is now explaining it to his 10 and 5-year-old.
Wow.
And then they all got it. And then they're all just rolling, laughing. And of course, they come home and tell mom, and she's not happy that I showed them that.
Oh, I love
I
it.
told that joke 100 times over the weekend, so that made me very happy. But if you have any movies like that you showed your kids that they finally get something, or they, I hit us up on the text line 888-973-5476. Also, YouTube Live is a lot of fun. People are having. You can go to youtube.com.
Yeah, man.
Search KIRO Radio 97.3, and the Jake and Spike Live page pops up. It's a really good time. Tonight, did you see this? First news story we're going to get to, weather-related. Tonight's supposed to be a 9 p.m. sunset.
Ah, yes.
Have we reached the time of year?
Yeah.
You've
we're
seen
here.
the forecast.
I know it's false summer or false spring behind us. Rear view mirror. No, rear view mirror.
Oh, this is real
Rear
now.
view mirror. This is real.
This is real.
This is real. Yeah.
The forecast is unbelievable. I'm looking at it right now. I don't need to be a meteorologist, and you don't need one in your life.
Oh, you
just
need
look at your
windows.
phone. Yeah.
For your phone.
Look
Or
at
your phone. Or a window.
Okay, today sunny, tomorrow sunny, Wednesday sunny, Thursday sunny, Friday sunny, Saturday sunny, Sunday sunny,
Yeah,
all
baby.
through next week. The first day that's not almost 80 degrees is going to be a week from Wednesday. So we have like at least 10 days of stellar weather coming.
Isn't it funny? We can't trust these people. Meteorologists, they work hard. But if they bat 500, they're going to the Hall of Fame, right?
Yeah.
I mean, if they're right even close to half the time, they're building statues to these people, right?
Great job.
But on days like this, I'm rooting for them. I'm rooting for them. I want them to be right as no rain.
Be right. Are you going to stay up for the Aurora Borealis? You're supposed to be able to see it. Did you know that?
I have never witnessed a really. I've seen streams of the Aurora Borealis. I think it was last summer we had the one.
Yeah.
That presented pretty well here, and then it was like, oh well, if you look at it through your phone, you can see more of the rays and more of the light of effect on the skyline because something to do with the camera on your phone, yada yada. I don't want to watch a concert through my phone. I don't want to see the Grand Canyon through a screen on my phone. I don't want to see the Aurora Borealis on my phone.
How is that seeing it? I'm not really seeing it if I have to see it through my phone.
And I've driven up to viewpoints, but we're light polluted in the city of Seattle. So I'll get to the edge of the sound, and I'll look up through the sound into the darkness, hoping to see great lighting, and I never get it. But then I hold my phone up and there it is.
Yeah, I did the same thing last year. I live in a pretty dark area. I live up in Snohomish County where we don't have as much light as Seattle, but some. I couldn't see anything, nothing. So I finally hold my phone up and I go, maybe. I guess that's it.
Yeah, right. So underwhelming.
And then everybody's taking pictures and sharing them like, oh, look at this amazing thing I saw. I was like, yeah, but did you? Did you see it?
I had the same exact reaction.
Or did your phone? Like, I'm so underwhelmed by that.
Oh, man, I'm looking at social media posts. Wow, your neighborhood had it great.
Yeah. Did it?
No.
Yeah. There's so tonight you're supposed to be able to see it between 2 and 3 a.m. You can get up. Actually, your phone can see it between 2 and 3 a.m. If your phone's awake tonight, you can point it up in the sky.
Set it on your roof on timer. Yeah.
I just told. Yeah, this is totally underwhelming. But yeah, there's a solar storm that your phone's going to see, I guess. And so if you want to stay up till 3 a.m.
I need to make a real effort and dedicate some of my lifetime.
Get yourself up to Alaska.
Or somewhere real.
Yeah.
Where you walk outside and it's like, oh my God. It's
absolutely
life-changing.
Yes.
Experience. It's not this, caught it on my phone over my neighbor's house past his garage.
No, you want to be up near the Arctic Circle or wherever that's at.
Yeah, I got to do that.
Look up and see it with the naked eye. All right, here's another thing. Speaking of late, Memorial Day weekend this started. They are going to the
lockdowns. Yeah.
Can you explain this to me? I don't want to sound like a guy who's just
sure. This is the fourth year in a row that and to try to curb late night trouble and crime in our parks and our beaches and all the things
at Alki and Golden Gardens.
Yeah, the city's locking them down an hour earlier than prior years. Against the fourth year they've done it, they close at 10:30 instead of 11:30. So it's well after dark.
But we have this beautiful. It's not too far after dark.
No,
I mean,
it's
9
still,
o'clock is when sun sets, but you still have the ambient light kind of. You're seeing a little stuff.
Yeah. Used to be out there till 11:30.
The Aurora Borealis is going to light everybody up till late night.
Get your phones out. They used to kick us out at 11:30, and now it's 10:30. Trying to eliminate the ne'er-do-wells. And it's not just a closed sign. They're putting in barricades to keep people from entering
driving in
after something's supposedly closed. They've got additional security services available to make sure people chase you out.
Do you think that that's just going to, like, people who follow the laws, people who follow the rules, they are going to not be in the park at 10:30, but the ne'er-do-wells, are you kind of worried about the ne'er-do-wells saying like, hey, we feel like they've ceded this ground to us. Now we can just go into the park. Nobody's going to be there. Look at these barriers going to keep them all out. Let's just go into the park and have fun.
The city has provided, it's not just closed signs. There's extra law enforcement resources, extra security resources, extra legal resources to actually write tickets and enforce people and enforce the law. Used to be there wasn't the resources to not just monitor these folks, catch these folks, but then punish these folks.
But if you're enforcing the law, why do you need to close the parks early for everyone else? Why is everybody else getting their hands slapped when they're not in the cookie jar?
I hear you. I guess they feel like if there's going to be ne'er-do-wells in there, let's at least keep the citizens, the innocent bystanders, out. Makes it easier to find anybody who in there now is looking for trouble.
What if, here's a modest proposal for you. What if we just close the parks at like 5 p.m.? Right? Like if it's safer at 10:30, why not close them at 5 or 3 p.m.?
Really safe.
Or why open them at all?
Right. It's never a problem if they're never open.
It's going to be way safer if nobody's even allowed there.
I see what you're doing.
To me, it's like, why can't they just do their job and police as they're supposed to? Hire the amount of police officers that you need to and here's the key. You've got to prosecute when people do bad things.
That's part of the mayor's plan, is to give the resources to actually cite these people and have enough legal resources in the way of city's attorneys.
I will happily believe it when I see it.
To task.
Happily believe it when I see it.
Oh, I'd like to know if there's been there has been a decreased amount of late night trouble since they started doing this 3 years ago. Modest, but and we can't solely credit this action.
Could be just like ne'er-do-wells who are tired of shooting people.
Well, ne'er-do-wells, trust me, if there's been a decrease in crime at these closed parks, I bet there's a correlating increase in crime close by where they just cause trouble at other locations.
Probably.
Whether it's shopping center parking lots or restaurant parking lots. Denny's parking lots are scary.
Public bathrooms.
Public bathrooms. Oh, but they're closing and locking and closing all bathrooms part of this.
Okay.
Early park closures to make sure that the bathrooms at these parks are closed overnight and that they're cleaned and maintained on a regular basis, dedicating resources to that.
Sure.
Which you love. Because it's nice to have the park system.
Well, I like a clean bathroom.
Nice to have the park system that your family can enjoy safely.
But if they're already spending money on that, those should be clean anyway. They should be cleaning them all the time.
I'm with you.
That's their job. Clean the bathrooms.
Have you been to a park bathroom of late?
No, heck no.
Yeah, well, that's not
yeah, I've been. I don't go down to Alki, and I don't spend much time in Alki. I haven't been in Golden Gardens in a number of years, but I imagine I can guess at what those bathrooms look and smell like.
When the mirror in the bathroom is metal, because they're tired of replacing broken mirror.
And it's all scratched.
And you engrave
That's when you know you're in a classy bathroom.
When they've engraved,
Take your family, take your kids in there to use the restroom or something. You're like, what's all that mean on the,
right.
on the mirror? Why is it all scratched with gang signs? Not fun. Not
It'd be
fun.
nice to be able to not have to worry about your kids' safety, just trying to relieve themselves in a public bathroom at a park.
Bathroom.
Wouldn't it be great?
It'd be great. But hey, that's a lot to ask. All right. Speaking of kids and crime, this is a wild story. This was so crazy. I thought this was local, but it's not.
No.
This was in Maryland.
Yeah, Laurel.
This is. Do you know where Laurel
Laurel's
is?
about halfway between D.C. and Baltimore. But it's about an hour drive between the two cities with traffic. So about half an hour north of Baltimore, south of Baltimore, north of D.C.
Gotcha.
Dead center.
You been there?
Laurel. I've driven through Laurel.
Driven through.
I got friends in Laurel. We used to play sports games, teams from that Laurelville, Columbia area in central Maryland, Prince George's County.
There was a kid. They arrested a 16-year-old kid after they connected him to 121 vehicle break-ins.
Mm-hmm.
And they decided the best path going forward for this kid was to just release him a couple hours later. And when you know it,
what did he do?
Guess what he did?
Went to a meeting of Car Thieves Anonymous?
Yeah, he turned his life around right there. No, he didn't turn his life around. Apparently, he allegedly got right back into it and broke into some more vehicles. So.
Well, what I read this story, what blows my mind about this story is that they got a warrant and went to this kid's house and they found like 20 sets of car keys and
stolen credit cards,
stolen merchandise that connected him to these 121 break-ins in the area. They locked him up. And then, even though they had just been in his house and found evidence of 100-plus break-ins, they released him because he's a minor and he has no previous criminal record.
Except for the 121
And he was not a flight risk. Right, except for the 121 break-ins.
Crazy.
No previous record.
Didn't that sound like a local story?
It does. It
does. You know what he needs? He needs prison, Mike.
But I am here to scare you straight. I am here to scare you straight!
I hope it works.
I hope it works. I hope that worked, kid. We didn't want to scare you like that, but we got to do it because they're not going to do it. All right, we got a lot more coming up. This is really interesting. I don't understand the story. Chris Sullivan's hopefully going to explain it to us. The Seattle Mariners have decided to retire number 51, which is very exciting.
Oh, it was last year's
for Randy Johnson.
Oh, what? Wait a minute.
But they already retired it for Ichiro Suzuki.
Right?
So how does this work? And how do you choose which player gets the most credit for retiring the number? And does it even make sense? And why are they doing it? Chris Sullivan's going to join us next. And if you're watching on live stream, we thought this would be a fun opportunity. While we talk to Chris, we're also going to play some of the greatest highlight reel hits from the big unit, Randy Johnson. And also
two Hall of Famers.
Yeah, Hall of Famers. It's going to be a lot of fun. And maybe the exploded bird will even make its way in there. So get on over to YouTube right now. Search KIRO News Radio, and the Jake and Spike Show Live is going to pop up. We'll see you there next. We'll be right back.
This hour is brought to you by Caesars Sportsbook at Muckleshoot Casino.
You never know what's in store each morning once you hit the road.
We've got a major traffic alert in effect right now.
Well, you're getting ready every morning. Make us part of your routine.
What morning, huh?
Yeah. Got off to an early start.
Just tell your smart speaker to play KIRO News Radio or stream us on the app.
Both directions of I-5 are closed.
We'll help you get where you're going faster.
Maybe bail at 512.
KIRO News Radio. We're on your smart speaker, the app, and 97.3 FM.
Hey, folks, Spike O'Neill there for Sharp Vision Modern LASIK and Lens. You know, my vision was always perfect throughout my life. I was one of those kids that never needed to wear glasses, never worried at all, up until a few years ago when I noticed a little deterioration in my vision quality, started using readers, started losing readers, and I started worrying about my night vision and the things you do. So I went and got an exam at Sharp Vision Modern LASIK and Lens at their offices in Bellevue, gave me a complete comprehensive exam and was determined that I had the beginning of cataract and that I was a perfect candidate for a refractive lens exchange surgery. I had RLE done for me. Went in, 1 afternoon, quick procedure, the same care team from start to finish. I had a lot of questions, a little bit of anxiety. They put me at ease, treated me like a king, and I walked out of there with the best vision of my life, not just 20/20, 20/10 vision. I have never had better vision, and I will never develop cataract, and I will never need readers. It's time for you to take a look at your eyes and what they could be. Again, call Sharp Vision Modern LASIK and Lens, 425-451-2020, or online at sharp-vision.com, sharp with an e-vision.com, official eye care providers of Sounders FC.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. No, we're not one of the big guys. Truth is, we don't want to be. If you're over 50, Big Wireless probably has you paying for more data than you might need. You could be throwing away thousands over a lifetime. we're not here to be the biggest. We're here to bring you something we believe is better. Our plans start at just $20. You'll get the same fast nationwide coverage without the big wireless bill.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com/facts or a store near you. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
Still getting around to that fix on your car? You got this. On eBay, you'll find millions of parts guaranteed to fit. Doesn't matter if it's a major engine repair or your first time swapping your windshield wipers. eBay has that part you need, ready to click perfectly into place for changes big and small. Loud or quiet, find all the parts you need at prices you'll love. Guaranteed to fit every time. But you already know that. eBay. Things, people, love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
It's Jim Singletary, Chief Roof Nerd at RoofSmart, here to tell you the right way to choose a roofer. And it's not by choosing the lowest bid. Just comparing numbers? Terrible idea. A low price doesn't tell you if the job will be done right, and it definitely doesn't tell you anything about the contractor. Instead, treat hiring a roofer like a job interview. Ask them, why did my old roof fail early? What's the right solution for me, and why? Have you been around for at least 10 years? A new roof is a huge investment, and the job shouldn't go to the lowest bidder. It should go to the most qualified. At RoofSmart, we've got over a decade of experience, a team of more than 50 full-time pros, and real answers, not just numbers. Plus, we're certified, insured, and properly licensed. We'd love to apply for your roofing job. Call 206-487-4877 or visit GetRoofSmart.com today. That's 206-487-4877 or online at GetRoofSmart.com.
Start having fun. Caesar Sportsbook at Muckleshoot Casino Resort is your #1 place to eat, drink, watch, and have fun. Keep up with your favorite sports anywhere and everywhere on property with the mobile app. Visit MuckleshootCasino.com today. Scan the QR code and let the play begin.
Muckleshoot. John Curley here. Smart homeowners are upgrading heat pumps and air conditioners now before the summer heat wave with incredible rebates and discounts that'll save you up to $6,000. Home Comfort Alliance makes paying easy with 18 months, same as cash financing. Call Home Comfort Alliance today for a free quote and save up to $6,000. For your heating, cooling, plumbing, and electrical needs, visit HomeComfortAlliance.com today. That's HomeComfortAlliance.com.
Terry is an athlete. He's also 57 years old.
I've been doing marathons and triathlons since 1990.
And that's not all.
I started playing baseball last year, and when the season was done, my knees were just shot.
Terry suffered from a torn meniscus and cartilage damage, and that's when he decided to see Dr. Mark Wagner at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine.
My wife says, "You're walking faster today." And I went, "Oh my God, I am."
Does it look like you'll be drafted for the next season?
Well, I'm already 2 games in to the new season, so I'm thrilled.
And just how thrilled is he?
So I'm a high school teacher, and I tell all my students, if any of your parents have bad knees, stem cell works.
Look at that. A true evangelist now, huh?
Yeah. So whether it's a shoulder, hip, or knee, before you choose surgery, consider stem cell therapy with Dr. Mark Wagner, MD at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine. Get the facts, hear from all the patients I've talked to, and schedule your consultation at drmarkwagnermd.com.
Safety comes first. When money is tight, Buc-ee's has you covered with no credit financing. For oil changes, wiper blades, brakes, tire rotation, tune-ups, and factory maintenance, it's Buc-ee's Complete Auto. No appointment needed, and financing is available. Check Buc-ee's.com for the location near you.
KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon, I'm Heather Bosch. Enumclaw police and school administrators fear intruders who broke into a high school over the weekend may have been doing reconnaissance. Police Chief Tim Floyd.
It seems to us that maybe they were rehearsing for an active shooter event.
Surveillance video caught 3 masked people, one with a handgun, walking slowly through Enumclaw High School, recording the whole thing. They ran off after tripping an alarm and alerting police. Floyd says there was no previously known threat to the school. They have boosted security out of an abundance of caution. We are putting the photos of those 3 suspects up at mynorthwest.com. Contact police if you know who they are. Bail is set at $5 million for a Federal Way father in the death of his 5-year-old daughter. Court documents reveal the 29-year-old man physically abused the child until she lost consciousness at their apartment and died last week. The State Patrol is searching for 3 young sisters. As KIRO 7 TV's Jason Sloss reports, troopers are also looking for the girl's dad.
Wenatchee police say the 3 girls were last seen Friday as they left home for a planned visit with their dad. They are 5, 8, and 9 years old. The father, Travis Decker, is homeless and reportedly lives out of his white GMC Sierra pickup, local campgrounds, and various hotels. Police believe those 3 girls are in danger. If you see them, Decker or his truck, call 911 right away.
We put the girls and the father's photos up at mynorthwest.com. Chaos in Boulder, Colorado.
He's right there. He's throwing Molotov cocktails right there.
Video posted on social media shows the arrest of a 45-year-old Egyptian national whom witnesses say threw Molotov cocktails at a group of people marching in support of Israeli hostages held by Hamas. 8 people were injured. The suspect expected in court today. Ukraine launches more than 100 drones to attack 5 air bases inside Russia. CBS's Remy Inocencio on how Ukraine pulled it off.
More than 100 FPV, or first-person view drones, were hidden in the roofs of containers smuggled into the country. The roofs, retractable, opened remotely, mere miles from each base, making it one for the history books, said Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky. A brilliant operation was carried out, he said, and the people who helped us are safe, extracted from Russia before the operation.
On Wall Street, the Dow is down 6 points. NASDAQ is up 120. Nate Connors is in the Beacon Plumbing traffic desk.
Yeah, hi. Thanks, Heather. Beacon Plumbing has our update. As a matter of fact, we have a traffic alert as you head up toward Tiger Mountain. It's eastbound 18 at Issaquah Hobart Road. All lanes eastbound are blocked right now. You're being detoured off right there at Issaquah Hobart. No estimated time of reopening. Through Renton, a crash was just cleared north 405 and northeast 44th. So you're left with a backup that starts back up near the Maple Valley Highway. Renton to Bellevue, 25 minutes, about a 10-minute delay. And through Marysville, South 5, still crowded approaching State Route 529, where 529 southbound is closed for road work. Right now, you got about a 2-mile backup Arlington to Everett, 25 minutes, a 10-minute delay here. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Thank you, Nate. This weather update brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. Mostly sunny skies today with highs around 70. It's 64 in downtown Seattle. I'm Heather Bosch.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
All right, welcome back to the show. We're very, very excited. Chris Sullivan joins us now. Chris, welcome back.
It's good to be here.
It's good to
really
have
happy to be here today.
You normally come on when we're talking about traffic or something.
Whenever there's a screw up by our transportation departments or elected officials, we turn to Sully to bring the bad news to you. And I feel bad because we're always like, Chris, what did you do?
That's okay.
And I know
I'm happy to do it.
I know it's
He's
not
a conduit and he's happy to do it. But today is a little different because we were all talking out in the newsroom about something kind of interesting, sports-wise. Sports is a big thing from time to time. People talk about it.
I was a sports reporter for like 10 years at the early part of my career.
You know the nitty and gritty about sports.
A little bit, yeah.
So you were laughing because the Mariners are doing something that kind of confused you a little bit. Explain to us what's going on here.
Well, we found out today that they are retiring the number of our favorite 20-foot-tall pitcher, Randy Johnson.
Nice.
They are retiring his number next season, which is great.
And certainly well-deserved.
Well, yeah, until you realize that the Mariners already retired his number, which is 51, for Ichiro Suzuki. They both wore 51, not at the same time, but they already have retired 51 for Ichiro. Now they're going to retire 51 again for Randy Johnson. So my question is, how do you retire the same number twice? Can't it only be retired once?
That's a great question.
No. It's actually, there's a couple instances in baseball that teams, I don't know why I know this. I think the A's have it's like Raleigh Fingers and somebody and Catfish or somebody on the A's, they retired 34 twice.
Okay.
And the Yankees have 2 retired number 8s.
Number 8s.
Yogi Berra was, and somebody else was. So that's it's been done before.
But it just seems so odd that in this close of proximity too. I mean,
when did they retire Ichiro? Right? I mean,
a couple years.
Yeah, recently.
When he because he was just inducted in the Hall of Fame last year.
Yeah, that's actually happened. Yeah, And so that's going to happen later this year.
They'll put his number up.
Is the actual ceremony this year.
Oh, okay.
But
and next year,
yeah.
But
Randy
you'll have to make one
Johnson,
plaque. It's a bargain.
Right, but Randy Johnson, who was also in the Major League Baseball Hall of Fame, went in as a Diamondback,
and they
where he won his World Series.
And they retired his number years
ago. So then comes the extra debate. Okay, if the Mariners can only retire one, who should it be? Because someone went into the Hall of Fame as a different team, though he was a 10 years player in this city, was great for this organization. So then now there's a deeper conversation. Who gets the retirement for real?
Okay,
who's the real 51 here?
I have two thoughts. I think your second question is a very, very good one, and one worth debate, which we should get into in just a second. I don't understand two retirements of this, because the point of retiring is that they're saying this is you wore this number with such distinction that we don't want anyone else to ever wear this number again in honor of you.
Right, hallowed ground. Absolutely, yeah.
So now it's okay. So do future players who want to wear 51 have to choose which player they're saying I can't wear it because of? Would they just say like, hey, I'm not going to get this because of Ichiro, or I'm more of a Johnson guy, so I'm going to say I'm not wearing it because of the big unit? Was he the big unit?
Yes, he was a big unit. Oh, yes.
Bird killer.
Oh, yeah.
He was
now a good
killer.
photographer, just like Ken Griffey Jr.
He's a great photographer. That's very strange. Okay, what do you guys think? Who should be, if you had to choose one, who should get the retired number? Should it be Suzuki or should it be Johnson?
That's a great question, because Randy was part of the team.
Physically, they couldn't look further apart.
They couldn't look, well, that's the thing. How about a mini 51, right?
Yeah.
51 and mini 51. We'll just make a little tiny one.
We'll make the numbers on Randy's 51 really tall and lean. How about that?
Right. Well, Randy was part of that early 90s team with Buhner and Edgar and Junior, and that really
kind of
brought Seattle
set the stage.
Right, center stage Seattle. Ichiro, though, took the Mariners international.
Correct.
With
Took
Lou.
baseball.
Right, with Lou and the 116-win team. And, they both have serious, credible claims at deserving this retirement number. Both of them do.
How important is it to you guys that they are inducted into the Hall of Fame as a player of that team?
That's my sticky point with Big Unit, that he went in as a D-back. And I get it.
He won the World Series.
D-bag. I didn't say D-bag. I said D-back.
Yep.
Diamondback. I know he won a series there, but he made his bones here. And to be fair, he was an Expo before he was a Mariner.
Also true.
Right?
We could explain what an Expo is. Kids, look it up on Wikipedia.
Ask your grandpa what an Expo is, kids. He's a Washington National who changed citizenship. That's what he is.
When people think of Randy Johnson, though, unless you're from here, you probably don't think of him as a Mariner. You probably think of him as a Diamondback.
Really?
I'm not sure what the national perspective is. That because we're up here, we're pretty provincial up here in the the corner.
Yeah, we are. He won a series with the Diamondbacks.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah, but the whole world knew.
He finished his career with the Diamondbacks.
Yeah,
we knew him as Randy Johnson, but you got to also remember he played for the Mariners at a time when they had like grainy non-HD footage. So all the good footage,
he looks like Bigfoot,
which is a real thing. Like all the good footage of Randy Johnson that you might want to watch is all with him playing with the Diamondbacks.
I guess.
I mean, they both deserve to have their number retired. And what's interesting to me is that because they played in such close proximity.
Right. It's not like somebody played with a three-finger glove in the 19-nothings.
Yeah, like Mordecai Three-Finger Brown in 1872.
right.
Went in. He's number 98. And then like 50 years later. Yeah, because at that point, if it's been retired, I think long enough, and it would be different if like Ben Williams, it was like, hey, I want to wear 51, and you have to go ask Ichiro or his family to say if it's okay to even use the number. But because they played so closely together in time, it's kind of hard to that they both had the number. So it's kind of like, okay, sorry, you both deserve it. But yeah, just kind of a fun conversation.
I don't know if I like the idea that teams can just retire numbers that they've already retired either. I feel like there is a thing. You're raising it up onto a pedestal.
Yeah.
You have to choose one. You can't have two winners. And it feels to me like with 51, if you're retiring both numbers, aren't you kind of saying like, oh, well, they're both winners and we can't decide, so we're just going to retire them both? Again, I think they both deserve a ton of honor. I love Randy Johnson.
Yeah, me too.
That guy, my childhood was watching Randy Johnson pitch and Ken Griffey Jr. hit. And that was such an unbelievable blessing to have those guys be like your childhood home team baseball players. But Ichiro Suzuki is a whole different level of player as well. And so which guy do you honor? And
that's why we're talking about it, because there really is no good answer.
I got to be honest, I would choose Suzuki. I would say Ichiro gets it because he stayed with the Mariners, and He went to the Hall of Fame, right, as a Mariner?
Yeah, but he also played for the Yankees and he played for the Marlins. He got around too.
Yeah,
he tramped around at the end of his career too. Guys chased that paycheck and chased the spotlight.
What team are you inducted into the Hall of Fame with?
That's the thing.
That's
Randy's wearing a D-back cap in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, when you go look at Ichiro's picture, it's going to be a Mariners picture.
What was the onus behind announcing this Johnson number retirement?
I know it came out today. They decided that next year is going to be the year of Randy Johnson. Like this year is the year of Ichiro, as Ichiro goes into the Hall of Fame in August. I think it's August, or maybe July. But so I don't know. It just came out today. I mean, I don't know why they couldn't have waited until spring training next year or whatever. But yeah, that's why we're all thinking about this today. It was like,
Are they trying to make us forget that they blew leads in all 3 games this weekend? But man managed to win 2 of them.
Yeah, I think if we can get rid of those 2 7-inning 10th innings or whatever those were, 7-run 10 innings the other nights, forget about it.
Hey, let's retire the big units number. Okay. Moving on.
By the way, is there any other 51s in the Mariners past that they could retire? I mean, now they've got
Oh my God, we just go through and just be like,
like a third one.
We'll look it up and we'll send it to the Mariners.
Yeah.
This is
Gaylord Perry's
a
number?
value pack. I don't know.
Do you remember his number?
I don't know, but I'll look it up.
It's been a while.
It was kind of hard for me to see the number through all the grease on my fingers.
The King beer goggles. Is that what you're saying?
No, and through the foreign substance inside my cap.
You're throwing spitters?
It's all right.
You're throwing greasers?
It's a hot debate. We want to throw it out to you in the audience. You can let us know. You can let us know on the YouTube chat line which of the. You have to choose one too. You can't have a cop out like the Mariners did and give it to them both. You have to choose one. You can only retire Ichiro Suzuki or Randy Johnson. Let us know on the chat line on the YouTube live page. You can also let us know on the text line. We want to hear from you. We'll let you guys know what the audience says later on in the show. All right, Chris Sullivan, thanks for coming in, man.
Anytime.
Appreciate it. All right, we got a lot more coming up. Stick around. Right back.
The first place you turn to for breaking news.
Protest outside City Hall.
KIRO News Radio.
James Lynch begins our team coverage live at City Hall.
Now, we are told by SPD that 4 people have been arrested for assault. For more on the counter-protesters, we go to Scott Carty.
See a group of another 10 officers come down the steps.
Closures now extended from Washington closer to the stadiums.
KIRO News Radio on 97.3 FM. And download the KIRO News Radio app to listen anytime.
Hey, Green Gobbler here. So you've got a clogged drain in your bathroom. Water in the sink's overstaying its welcome. You're spitting today's toothpaste on top of yesterday's toothpaste. You hope that it go away. Yeah, clogs don't just go away. I make them go away. I'm Green Gobbler, the only clog dissolver you need. I'm bleach-free, safe for your pipes, and I work. Guaranteed or your money back. Because I never met a clog that was going to unclog itself. Green Gobbler. Let the gobbler get it.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. No, we're not one of the big guys. Truth is, we don't want to be. If you're over 50, Big Wireless probably has you paying for more data than you might need. You could be throwing away thousands over a lifetime. We're not here to be the biggest. We're here to bring you something we believe is better. Our plans start at just $20. You'll get the same fast nationwide coverage without the big wireless bill.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com/fax or a store near you. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Pro Paint Days are back at Lowe's, and My Lowe's Pro Rewards members can save even more with limited time deals. Right now, buy one, get one half off select HGTV Home by Sherwin-Williams primer and ceiling paint. Plus, get free same-day delivery to your job site when you order by 2 p.m. Offer valid through 6/13, delivery by 8 p.m., subject to driver availability. Additional terms apply. See Lowe's.com/same-day delivery for details.
Spike O'Neill here. Sharp Vision Modern LASIK lens gave me back the perfect vision I had up until a few years ago. Now, never need glasses again. Never develop cataracts. Been about 6 months since my RLE surgery. My vision is better than it's ever been in my life. Sharp Vision Modern LASIK lens, privately owned, no corporate shareholders or boardrooms. Dr. Sharp built his business on the principle of always strive to over-accomplish, never overprice. Call 425-451-2020 or go online to sharp-vision.com. That's sharp-vision.com. Official eye care providers of Sounders FC.
Guys, tired all the time? Gaining weight? Low drive? These aren't just signs of aging. They could be low testosterone or other underlying issues. This June, for Men's Health Month, Revive Men's Health in Seattle is offering a free comprehensive wellness panel, a $400 value. It checks your testosterone, blood sugar, cholesterol, kidney, liver, thyroid, and heart health. No guessing, just answers. Over 100,000 men have trusted Revive to get real results. More energy, better sleep, improved mood, and confidence that shows. If something feels off, don't wait. Take control and protect your long-term health by knowing your numbers. This offer ends June 30th. Schedule your free comprehensive wellness panel today. Call 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com. Feel better, live stronger. Start now.
We're here with our friend Steve Teitler of Best Mortgage, the reverse mortgage expert. Steve, mortgage rates have been dropping this year. How could that help seniors struggling to stay in their homes?
Lower mortgage rates means seniors can now get more money from their equity with a reverse mortgage. You can pay off your existing mortgage, have extra money to help with today's high cost of living, or believe it or not, you can even buy a home with a reverse mortgage. There are many uses, and best of all, you have no mortgage payments the rest of your life.
But as you always say, a reverse mortgage is not for everyone.
That's right. Avoid the high-pressure sales pitch from those out-of-state call centers. I give you a consultation, not a sales pitch. I'll tell you if a reverse mortgage is right for you, and I always tell you if it's not.
Honest advice you can trust from the reverse mortgage experts. Best Mortgage, the VA loan experts and debt consolidation specialists too. 425-649-6000. Best Mortgage, 425-649-6000.
It's a brave face we put on. We never want to be any trouble. But you know, getting older isn't all smiles and birthday parties. Sometimes it's facing the fact that we are aging. And you know what? That can be pretty hard. If you need a little support or just want to talk to someone, 988 is here for you. It's free and it's confidential. Call 988 anywhere, anytime. A message from the Washington State Department of Health.
Cars for Kids, your trusted charity for car donations, also accepts donations of boats, RVs, motorcycles, and real estate. Call today, 877-CARS4KIDS.
Motorcycle accident cases require a thorough investigation by a team of experienced legal professionals if they have any chance of being successful. Insurance companies, juries, and even the police tend to assume the worst about motorcycle riders. Get help from an experienced team of attorneys that have successfully resolved hundreds of motorcycle accident cases over the past 30 years. Call Davis Law Group for a free legal consultation or get my free book on motorcycle accidents at WashingtonAccidentBooks.com. That's Davis Law Group, better service and even better results.
Say it for me one time. You make me happy.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
This was a good story. This story made me happy. Was it just Friday? Is this Friday the bee story?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Jeez Louise.
Yep.
Bees.
250 million bees, what they told us.
250 million bees. Here's the thing. You can never, ever, ever trust the mainstream media. You can't trust them because they're going to tell you 250 million bees when in reality, Spike, how many was it?
Somewhere like 13, 15 million, something like that, right?
That's a lot less.
That's less.
That's a lot
That would
less.
be considerably less.
I will say this.
Yeah.
Bees are tiny and they're tough to do a head count.
They
Just
keep
with
moving.
the eyeball.
They tend to look alike, too, right?
They do look alike.
Some of you may have been counted 10 times.
Don't all bees look alike?
Seriously, folks.
But 14 million is a lot less than 250 million.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's the real number is 14 million apparently.
Because it's funny, when the number came out, 250 million bees, I'm thinking, oh my gosh, what
a story.
A tragic loss of pollinating machines, if that were indeed the case.
Yeah.
And I did a little research. I'm thinking, okay, it says here, and we had some texters text in, who were, is it apiaries? Is that what they are?
Apiarist.
Apiarist. Saying that the average hive holds X number of bees. And all the AI I could gather, 50,000 bees on average per hive.
Yeah.
So for a 250 million bees to be lost,
it's a lot of hives.
That would have
in one
been
truck.
5,000 hives.
Yeah.
And I'm doing the math. I mean, how big are these hives? It just did not add up.
It doesn't add up.
Any way, shape,
no,
or form.
Not at all. It not nearly adds up. So 14 million bees. It wasn't 250 million. I mean, you can't shake a stick at 14 million bees.
That's
It's still
a lot of bees.
bees.
It sure is, yeah.
If you're allergic to them, you want to stay away.
They had
Still a lot
an
of bees.
issue with the people who were there to keep traffic safety, make sure there were no injuries involved in the semi that turned over, and then regathering the bees.
Well, here's the thing. I was reading a little bit into this. Like, how do you regather all these bees? Do you just is there a Pied Piper method to them? What do you do? Whatcom County Sheriff's Office and beekeepers had to work together to get all these bees back. However, they're going to collect them up. Bunch of tiny little nets. I don't know.
What's the method?
What's the method? So we reached out to a beekeeper, and we're going to have a beekeeper on live with us next. We're going to explain this very tedious process.
Excellent.
But this was interesting, I thought. Whatcom County Sheriff's Office, they talked to Fox 13, and they said that a lot of the bees are naturally just going to rehive. They said many of the queens. So what they do is, the queen attracts all the worker bees.
Yeah.
The drone bees. So the queen,
and each hive has a unique queen.
They each have a unique queen. Yeah. And so they said a lot of the queens were finding their way out to local trees, and then all the drone bees would, just
swarm on them. Yep.
Go to the queens. And so they were rehiving. They said many of the queens did just that. They swarmed in the nearby trees and local forests where the other bees will try to meet up with them and start a new colony. It's going to be nearly complete loss for all of those hives because of the devastation. It's not like they can just pick them up and reassign them to their hives again. They probably don't know which one is theirs to begin with.
Well, hopefully, though, the total loss of bees was kept to a minimum due to the professional response and the expert
they're
response.
Very good. These apiarists are the best. Especially in Washington. We got the best apiarists in the country. That's what I heard. Did you know that?
No, I did not know that.
Yeah, we got the best. People are talking about it.
We need them.
Let's see. It's not often somebody gets in the presence of millions of bees while they're there, but they also believe, a calming effect being around all those bees. That to me sounds like a professional beekeeper. I don't know that I'd be very calm around 14 million bees.
I'd be a nervous wreck.
So would I. I just stay in my car. I wouldn't get out of my car.
Laura said she saw a reporter sent out, and we're trying to figure out where this video is from. We can't find it anywhere.
Oh, we can't find that video?
You know how when you see something on your algorithm and then it just vanishes?
Sure.
And I literally looked at every single local news sites, but someone locally sent out a reporter to the scene and it was just like,
a young,
there's
budding, up and coming, work. I'll take any job.
We need to be
cover
doing
any
that
story.
More. We need to be sending out Nate to things like this. Nate should have gone out to the bees. I don't know if he's allergic.
Nate would be great at it.
He would be great at it. Yeah. We should do that.
We should have sacrificed the Three Amigos segment and just sent him out.
Well,
that was a thing,
not that one. We don't want to sacrifice that. Somebody else.
Every day
except
Friday.
Yeah, everybody. So no more bee accidents on Friday. All right. When we come back, we're going to talk to a local beekeeper who's going to explain to us what they do next. How can they save these bees and how you can help.
There you go.
We will be right back. Stick around.
Free consultations, no fee guarantees, 5-star reviews. J.P. Pendergast with Pendergast Law explains the importance of going beyond these familiar offerings.
Accident victims want an attorney, Tom, that satisfies their needs. Someone who handles those needs with the highest degree of care. Pendergast Law offers the no-fee guarantees and free consultations, but these only scratch the surface.
Okay, explain more.
We make sure that every member of our team is genuinely passionate about helping others. Customer service and communication are our top priority. It's how we take care of our clients so they always feel one step ahead of the insurance companies. Our strong reputation for high standards provides comfort and confidence when it's needed most.
Pendergast Law offers the free consultations, the no-fee guarantees, and of course, they are 5-star rated. But what really makes them different is their genuine passion for helping others. I can't recommend them enough.
If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
That's PendergastLaw.com.
At Les Schwab, we've been changing the tire game for more than 70 years. Our Go the Extra Mile service means more hustle, less hassle. We design our own exclusive tires to give you more tires made for the road you drive, less compromise. All backed by America's best tire warranty included with every tire we sell. We're talking more unbeatable tire warranty, less charging you extra, like the other guys. It's why you get more from less. Book an appointment at leschwab.com.
If you want that summer body you've always dreamed of, then this message is for you, ladies, and you men too. Get rid of extra stubborn fat and address areas of loose skin around the waistline, chin, and under the upper arms with ProSculpt, the new one-day instant permanent fat removal and skin tightening treatment. Maybe you've tried the lasers, fat freezing methods, even those new pills, but without the desired results. ProSculpt is different. It's minimally invasive, performed while fully awake, gentle, yet powerful. Designed to target the waistline, chin, neck, arms, and thighs, ProSculpt uses FDA-cleared plasma technology to deliver immediate, permanent fat-reducing and skin-tightening results, all in just one visit. If you want that summer body this summer, then you must act now. Go to ProSculpt.com today to schedule your free consultation. Get $250 off. For instant, permanent fat reduction and skin tightening, visit ProSculpt.com.
KIRO News Radio.
Get on the YouTube channel.
We're live all day on YouTube. Every show, every day.
Hang out with us. The whole gang's there.
And you never know what you might see.
Back up the camera. Oh, my God.
Just search KIRO News Radio, then subscribe.
Saving for retirement was tough enough for us.
Yes, and navigating markets can be challenging at times.
I understand. That's why at Fisher Investments, we take a disciplined approach with your investments.
Tell us more about that.
We take an active approach to money management, positioning your portfolio for opportunities we see ahead.
So all your clients get the same portfolio?
No, we tailor your portfolio to your individual goals and needs.
What about communication? We don't like being left in the dark.
We check in regularly to keep you informed on the markets and your portfolio.
Which means you'll help us stay on track.
Yes, our goal is your comfortable retirement. And as a fiduciary, we always put your interests first, because we do better when you do better. At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at FisherInvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
Spike O'Neill here. Sharp Vision Modern LASIK and Lens gave me back the perfect vision I had up until a few years ago. Now, never need glasses again. Never develop cataracts. Been about 6 months since my RLE surgery. My vision is better than it's ever been in my life. Sharp Vision Modern LASIK and Lens, privately owned, no corporate shareholders or boardrooms. Dr. Sharp built his business on the principle of always strive to overaccomplish, never overprice. Call 425-451-2020 or go online to sharp-vision.com. That's sharp with an E-vision.com. Official eye care providers of Sounders FC.
Protect your liver and give it the support that it deserves with Active Liver from New Nordic. Find it in stores at your local CVS, Fred Meyer Grocery, Amazon, or newnordicusa.com.
Your best source for local news. KIRO News Radio. KIRO FM and HD1. Tacoma, Seattle. Northwest News.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by O'Reilly Auto Parts.
I'm Cammie McCormick. Federal charges have been filed in the weekend attack in Boulder, Colorado that left 8 people injured. They were rallying in support of hostages held in Gaza. Correspondent Matt Piper reports.
The Justice Department has filed federal charges against the man police say threw a makeshift flamethrower and Molotov cocktails that burned multiple people. The DOJ says Mohammed Salman is being charged with a federal hate crime in addition to facing state charges for attempted murder in Colorado. Investigators say the 45-year-old yelled "Free Palestine" during the attack.
CBS's Nicole Skanga on the security concerns raised by the attack in the aftermath of the killing of 2 Israeli embassy workers in Washington.
There has been a lot of discussion here in Washington, D.C. among lawmakers about what's called the Nonprofit Security Grant Program. That is a program that provides funding to synagogues, to churches, to temples in order to bolster actual physical security, things like fences, cameras. That funding was frozen under the Trump administration until about 2 weeks ago, and it has since restarted.
Stacey Lynn reports the Supreme Court decided against weighing in on a case over assault weapons bans.
The justices declined to decide whether Maryland's ban on semi-automatic rifles such as AR-15s violates the Second Amendment's right to bear arms.
The argument's being made that, frankly, AR-15s are totally outside the scope of the Second Amendment. They didn't exist.
But legal analyst Lori Levinson says we will continue to see this fight regardless regarding the Constitution.
And to what extent jurisdictions can put bans on what they consider to be particularly dangerous weapons or large capacity magazines.
Stacey Lynn, CBS News, Washington.
The White House said today that trade talks between President Trump and China's president could come any day. Correspondent Nancy Cordes is at the White House.
Several White House officials have said now that they expect that President Trump and President Xi will speak at some point this week. They say there's a willingness to speak, but they won't give us a date or a time.
CBS News correspondent Rob Marciano reports there's a giant plume of dust heading across the Atlantic from Africa's Sahara Desert.
It's over Puerto Rico. Actually, air quality issues are poor there. It'll probably come over South Florida as well over the next couple of days. So it brings its own issues. But the good news with the dust, it does knock down hurricane activity.
Hurricane season began yesterday as wildfires continue burning in Canada. The problem across the northern tier of the U.S. is smoke and haze. On Wall Street at the closing bell, the Dow Jones Industrial's up 35 points. This is CBS News.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. Get the parts and service you need fast from the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Intruders at a local school, were they planning a shooting? The story comes up at first from the Beacon Plumbing Traffic Desk. A disabled vehicle is blocking a lane on I-90 westbound near West Mercer Way. On State Route 18 eastbound, a crash still blocking all lanes at Issaquah Hobart Road, where traffic's being diverted right at Tiger Mountain Summit. In Marysville, State Route 529 southbound is closed for bridge repair. I-5 southbound has been slow all day, but travel time Arlington to Everett is back down to about 15 minutes. Traffic brought to you by Beacon Plumbing. For all your heating, electrical, septic, and mechanical needs, stop freaking, call Beacon.
KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon, I'm Heather Bosch. Security is tight at Enumclaw High School after surveillance video caught 3 masked people doing what Police Chief Tim Floyd tells me looks like a possible reconnaissance for a shooting after breaking in Saturday night.
The way they were moving about the building with the one subject with the gun, another subject was filming the entire thing. It seemed like, to us, reconnaissance.
They ran off after tripping an alarm and alerting police. We are putting the photos of those intruders up at mynorthwest.com. Contact police if you think you know who they are. Floyd says there was not previously a known threat to that school. A dozen people stabbed at a homeless shelter in the Northwest.
Of the 12, 5 remain hospitalized with serious injuries.
Angela Hedrick is the public information officer for the Salem, Oregon Police. The attack happened last night in Salem. A 42-year-old Bend man is in custody. Police say they recovered a knife with an 8-inch blade. No motive for that stabbing yet. The FBI and local law enforcement announced major arrests of drug traffickers in the Chinese International District. KIRO News Radio's James Lynch joins us live from the federal courthouse in downtown Seattle with more. James? We'll get back to James.
Operation Jungle Strike.
Go ahead, James. I think we finally got you.
I'm so sorry. This is the second round of arrests in Operation Jungle Strike using information gained from wiretaps. The suspects are charged with distributing large amounts of heroin and methamphetamine. Here's attorney Teal Louis Miller.
Law enforcement seized 7 kilograms of cocaine, more than 20 pounds of methamphetamine, roughly 80,000 suspected deadly fentanyl pills, and more than $350,000 in cash.
Some of those arrested were legal, some were not, and some of those who weren't had been deported once and then returned to the country. Live in Seattle, James Lynch, KIRO News Radio.
Apologies for the technical problems. We will be putting this information on our website so you can learn more about it there. This comes on a day when a new program starts aimed at improving safety in Seattle's Chinatown International District. KIRO 7 TV's Brooke Griffin has more on the Community Ambassador Program.
Those ambassadors will be walking around every day, 7 days a week, usually in the afternoon and evening hours. This is in response to the recent violence in this district. Just in the month of May, 2 shootings and a stabbing hurt 4 people. In December, another man was attacked. And in November, 10 people were stabbed in separate incidents, but police did make an arrest for that.
On this day in 1990, he threw the first no-hitter in Seattle Mariner history.
Flag, it's over! He has done it! High fastball, Randy Johnson being mobbed
I love that vintage knee house. The Mariners are marking the 35-year anniversary by announcing they're retiring Randy Johnson's number 51. The big unit won a Cy Young Award during his 10-year run with the M's, part of his Hall of Fame career. The Mariners have also retired the number 51 for fellow Hall of Famer Ichiro Suzuki. This weather update brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. Mostly sunny today with highs around 70. It's 65 in downtown Seattle. I'm Heather Bosch.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO Newsradio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO Newsradio, Northwest News. It's the all-new Jake and Spike Show on KIRO Newsradio.
Welcome back to the show. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. Lots of ways to stay connected to us, which is a lot of fun. Things we like. Text line, 888-973-5476. We read every one of them. We respond to as many as we possibly can. Also, a fun new thing that people are enjoying is the live YouTube page. So if you go look for KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM on YouTube right now, you put that up in the search bar, KIRO Newsradio. The Jake and Spike live show is going to pop up. You're going to be able to watch it. You can also jump into the chat where we are hanging out right now, and you can also talk with each other, which is a lot of fun. Relationships are forming. People are making lifelong friends. People are becoming lovers, possibly. I don't know, maybe. A lot of stuff to get to. The big story around here over the past few days has been this massive bee accident that happened on Friday with 250 million. We were told 250 million, 250 million bees fell out of a truck that crashed. They were being transported on their way to, where were they going, South Dakota or something?
Not sure. The accident was in Whatcom County. I didn't see where there was the long-term destination.
They're never going to get there. That's what I know.
We need to. No, they're not.
Because the truck crashed, flipped over.
Yeah, and bees everywhere.
Bees everywhere. Crazy scene. But as it turns out, it wasn't 250 million bees. It was only 14 million, but that's still a lot of bees. Also, if you answer the call, if you're a local beekeeper or an apiarist or whatever you are, and somebody calls you and says, hey, we've got a huge spill, that's your shining moment. You got to show up to something like that. You got to go help the local authorities because cops are not made to hunt for bees.
No, and you don't know what you're doing. You can do more harm than good to the bees. The bee survival is
just
everything.
Yourself.
I don't know, who cares?
I'm worried about the officers more than the bees.
I guess I should. Yeah,
yes.
Sure.
All right, so we want to welcome, because we don't know anything about bees, so we thought we'd get an expert on. This is exciting. We have Quentin Guillant, who joins us now. Quentin, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Quentin, I understand on Instagram, if anybody wants to follow up with you and see your life, at The French Beekeeper. Is that right?
Yes, exactly. The French Beekeeper on Instagram.
And for anybody watching live right now, Quentin this is fantastic. You're actually sitting in front of what looks like a beehive. Are those bees swarming around you?
Not swarming, just doing their life. Yeah,
doing
I'm
their
sitting
thing.
right next to a beehive.
Yeah. And he's French.
What they do.
I love this.
You're from France?
Guilty, yeah.
Oh no, it's okay.
There's no better accent.
We're not that show.
If you're going to be a beekeeper, there's no better accent.
Do I have I won't insult you, Quentin. I will not try my horrific French impression.
No, it's
I
phenomenal.
do a better bee impression than I do a French accent. So
no, that's great. We're excited to have you, Quentin. So tell us a little bit. How did you get into beekeeping, and then we'll ask you some questions about how you would round up these 14 million bees. How did you get it? Because you're a young guy. How did you get into this?
Yes, I'm about 30 years old. My dad is a beekeeper, so I started when I was about 10 years old. I was his first employee in Paris. So we kept bees in Paris and around Paris. We're the family that the bees on Notre Dame, actually, when it burned down, and the bees survived, which was awesome. So I've done beekeeping in France and many other areas in the world, and now I live in Seattle for the past year and a half about.
Pause for a second. Go back to the Notre Dame bee story. What is that? What happened there?
That was a crazy story. So Notre Dame, a few years ago, as I'm sure you know, burned down. The bees were not exactly on the roof of Notre Dame. They were on the building right next to it, attached to it. And old buildings in France were built out of stone, so it's probably 4 to 6 feet thick. So the roof burned down and collapsed onto himself. But because the bees were on the other side of the wall, nothing happened to them. They survived. It was amazing. And wax melted down at 120 degrees. So if it was got nearly hot, they would have just died. And completely melt down the hive, and nothing happened. It was awesome.
So you guys
not
were
awesome for the church.
Well, no, yeah, but they've rebuilt now, and it's beautiful, and they've done a nice job.
Yes.
But so they called your family in to help deal with those bees?
So they were our bees. They were our bees that we had at the church for the past few years. We managed them, collect honey from those bees, gave it back to the church, and they were raising money with that honey. So our bees were there. We just could not access them for probably about 3 weeks after the fire because there's just so much security, as you can imagine. I mean, it's dead in the center of Paris. So it's kind of crazy. But they survived. Everyone was fine.
Amazing. Okay, so now he's in Seattle.
So it gives me hope that these bees are hardier than I think they are.
You know, they're not walking down the road.
The bees that were spilled at Whatcom County. What is the procedure? What's the protocol for recapturing these? What do you do?
Can you even recapture them?
You don't really capture them. You provide them a place. Hopefully, they're going to come back. Bees are extremely resilient. It is a big mess, as you can see in the pictures in the video. The semi truck, the flatbed, fell on its side, and then those beehives, those stacks of boxes, fell on their side. So I'm not on site. I've not been on site, but I've seen a few of those happen. What is the best protocol? You want to suit up. Those bees are going to be a little grumpy, not like those guys. Imagine, 25, 14 million bees flying around, being very confused. So the beekeeper went there, dressed up as beekeepers, full suit most likely, with their smoker. And their goal is to write up the beehive. So all the one that toppled over on their side, to write them up. After that, you're just waiting for that day on Friday that most of those bees that are flying around, millions of bees flying around, very confused, to go back inside the box. Bees need sunlight to orient themselves and fly around. So they waited for Friday night, the sun goes down, and they truck them out. But there was probably millions left on the trees, on the side of the houses and stuff like that. And so every day since Friday, they probably brought new beehive, empty ones, to hopefully hotel, to host those confused bees all around, to come into those beehive and truck them outside of the area. So I'm assuming by now. Go for it.
No, I was just going to say, will they go to? Do they have to go and capture the queen bees for them to go into the hive, or do they recognize a hive and they just go, "Oh, okay, we'll go in there. That looks nice."
So normally, one hive, one family, they have their mom, the queen, and the pheromone, and they follow that. Right now, they spill all around. Imagine a crowd of thousands of people, and you and your loved one in the middle, and you kind of got lost. And so at this point, they're looking for shelter. They're looking to go into a hive and feel shelter and safe. It's going to take a few days for them to settle down, to calm down, and then the beekeeper are going to go back inside the hive and try to look for the queen and make sure that everything is fine. It's not really a time, as far as I know, at least in my opinion, that I would look for queens and try to do everything perfect. It's like, let's put it back together as best as we can. Let's get out of the area. Let's lower the risk for the people and the bees.
I know that these bees were in transport because they're used as a pollinating tool. And they go from farm to farm to farm, and they're essential to our agricultural way of life. So, go ahead.
They're super essential. They were most likely up there for pollination, either pear, apples, different kind. So the beekeeper brings them, spend a few days to a few weeks in an area, do pollination, provide pollination for farmers, which, as you say, is essential to our economy and as our survival as human. And then they were probably getting trucked out because we are at the end of the pollination season. Getting trucked out, if you say South Dakota, over there they do either clover, alfalfa, canola, and that's an area to actually make honey. So there's not pollination per se to get paid over there. Beekeepers bring their bees to make honey out there because it's this vast plain where they can make a bunch of honey.
Do you have any idea of the financial impact of something like this for whoever owned these bees? And I still don't know who owned the bees, but 14 million bees.
It's terrible. So you heard 14 million. A truck like this has 200 to, I would say, 600 beehives. So give or take 400, 500 beehive were in that truck. You can make the calculation. It's about 50,000 bees in each one of them. So let's say 400 beehive. I manage about 200 beehive in Seattle. This will be the end of me. This would be like, that's it. I not do my job anymore. I lost most of my bees. So it is very difficult for that beekeeper. Time will tell. Hopefully, maybe 80% will be fine. 70% will be fine. I very much doubt that 100% will be fine, but only time will tell. But it would be a huge impact for that beekeeper.
I imagine they'd have to have some sort, if they're transporting them, and that's a regular process, just if they're moving them around, I imagine they have some sort of an insurance that might cover the loss of bees.
I would hope so, yeah, because this isn't the first time ever the accidents like this, accidents happen.
You know what's crazy to think about? How just smart it is that somebody came up with the idea of, like, let's use these bees as temporary workers to go around and pollinate. Just like whenever I see goats on the side of the road clearing areas of brush and stuff like that. But they do this also with bees, which is very cool. So what are they a danger to anybody in the area? Or are these bees pretty calm and relaxed?
Any other day, I would say absolutely not. In this day, overall bees have tendencies they don't want to sting you. They have no benefit out of stinging you unless they have to defend their house. And right now, they don't really have a house. They're very confused. So potentially, yes, the people could get stung and things like that. But in general, it's just avoid the area. If you go buy a new car, just close all windows and things like that. And you can see bees are around me and it should be fine. If bees land on you, it's fine. They'll fly out again. There's no problem. And if someone gets stung, the first 30 minutes are critical into someone could have an allergic reaction to a sting. That does happen. It's a very small proportion of the world population that is truly allergic. It hurts like hell. I'm not going to tell you anything different. But most people are not actually allergic to the point they might die out of it. But the first 30 minutes are super important. The person should sit down, go in the shade, drink some water, and see how your body evolves. If you start swelling up in a lot of area, you start feeling lightheaded, difficulty breathing, it's time to call emergency services and they can come and help you. Other than that, it's going to hurt like hell, but after a few minutes, you'll feel a little bit better. You're going to be all swelled up. I used to be a kid and then, get stung and I have a balloon head. Last a couple of days. It's a funny story, but that's about it.
Quentin, do you get stung on a regular basis doing what you do?
Yes.
Do you ever get used
to? I get stung
every day.
Every day. But bees, I got to say, most of the time when I get stung is my mistake. Either I pinch a bee grabbing a frame, they got in between my legs or something like that, and that's most of the time. It's rare that bees come and just go on your face and sting you. Yeah. That's very rare. But it does. People ask me this, how long does it take? So for me, when they sting me, it hurts really bad, and a few seconds later, it's gone. I have no trace, nothing happened. For you guys, you swell up and stuff out. I learned that from old beekeepers. They say, if you want to be immune to the venom, not react anymore, it takes 2 to 3 seasons, and it takes 2,000 to 3,000 stings.
Wow.
So if you guys want that, we can talk about it. But yeah, it takes some time, but it's part of the game.
Do people, and this is the last question, it's kind of a weird question for you, but I read a story, or I saw a video, I don't know what it was. I probably saw it. I credit things to reading, but I listen to a lot of things. Do people sting themselves with bees on purpose to get like an adrenaline rush? What is that thing?
It's not so much of adrenaline. I mean, I guess some people may be into that. What I heard is very much more medicinal. Chinese medicine, it's very old to use this, but currently in the US, people use it for 2 things that I know of. Arthritis, joints problem for
arthritis,
people when they have arthritis, thank you. And then Lyme disease, actually. It seems to be that bee venom is one of the only things that relieve from Lyme disease pain. And it's actually, I think there's studies showing more and more that maybe one day it could help, maybe not cure it, but relieve from it. People sting like their back area. That's what I've heard of people buying bees from me to do this. But yeah.
Sting themselves in the butt?
Yeah, the lower back.
Oh, lower back. Okay.
Not like a shot, like a vaccine. But basically, it's a venom. You get an acid injection, that's the venom, and your body reacts. So in a place where normally your body would not maybe think about going, I'm not a doctor, but would not do any action, you bringing something, your body suddenly bring a lot of white cells, bring a lot of activity in there, and that helps having movement in your body and maybe regeneration.
That makes total sense to me. Do you have any?
But please be safe if you try to get stung by bees.
Ask an expert.
Well, you need a professional, but we've got one here. We've got Quentin.
Yeah,
you live in Seattle.
Let's go with a doctor as well.
Are you?
Yes, I do.
Can we have Laura? Can we set this up? We can get Quentin in. He could sting Spike.
Oh my God!
I'll volunteer Spike.
Oh, you're volunteering Spike. Lovely.
And it'll feel good for the joints. I'll do it.
My hip's been killing me. Bring me some bees. Do you sell honey?
Okay.
Do you sell honey, Quentin?
Yes, I do.
Okay,
yes,
now we're talking. And you're at The French Beekeeper is how people find you?
On Instagram.
On Instagram.
Yes.
Beautifully.
Fantastic. All right, Quentin Guillaume, we're going to follow up because I think it'd be fun if we all got stung.
Yeah, you think it'd be fun if Spike gets stung. He's a great guy, my friend here.
I will do it with you. We can get stung together.
Perfectly.
And we'll feel great. It'll make us feel really good. Quentin, you've been a blast.
This is your first hill.
Yeah, perfect.
Thank you, guys.
All right, thanks, man. We're going to reach out. That's Quentin Guillaume. Good dude. Everything sounds better when you have a French accent.
I know, right?
Talking about getting his head swelled up like a balloon as a kid. But you say it in a French accent and you go, it doesn't sound so bad. It actually sounds like kind of sophisticated and fancy.
He makes me want to get stung. He really did. Of course I will. Yeah, if it would for joint pain. I'm telling you, I had a horrible weekend with joint pain.
I heard that what happens, just like what he described. I don't know how the algorithms chase me down, but it was like I saw a video of people getting stung, and then they initially have to get over the feeling of like ouch.
Yeah,
once you get past that, then you get this endorphin rush where you're just like, oh, I just survived. It's like
the rush of white blood cells. Is that what it is? Something.
So I think it would be fun to try, and it's like but did the bees die? A bee would die if they die.
We should. Well, next time we have Quentin on, when he comes down, when he brings
get
us
him in with some bees,
honey and bees.
But if it's just one,
honey and venom,
if it's just one little bee, maybe they can find an old bee who's already sick, and they can sting us, and it'll be like kind of a nice transfer of something.
Laura's asking Quentin if bees die when they sting, right? You're reaching that right now.
Yeah.
And you probably ask if he's single too, right?
Yeah, it's pretty cute. If you guys aren't watching the YouTube live stream, I highly recommend going back for that interview.
It's a highlight.
I knew, Laura. I knew what you were thinking. I knew what she was thinking. All right, we have a lot more stuff to talk about here. We don't have the time to do it this moment.
We could probably tell you. Did you see Jeff Bezos moving in?
Can we pull this video
in
up,
New
Professor
York?
Laura, if you're watching or you want to hear about
rich people they don't live the same life we live. I mean, of course, Jeff Bezos doesn't live the same life. And Jeff Bezos can send his girlfriend to space.
Yeah.
All of us have wanted to do that. No one's been able to.
This video is wild. This is in New York, and again, this is just somebody on the street, but it's a text or it's an X account that's usually very accurate.
A Wall Street guy, right?
A Wall Street guy, but he's saying that, and I can't imagine anybody else has this kind of money to do this, but there's literally an entire street shut down, and there's a massive crane, and it's lifting a couch up to like the 90, whatever the floor is. And apparently this is Jeff Bezos' new apartment in New York.
This is how they're moving the new furniture into the new penthouse apartment Jeff Bezos.
You want to see how Jeff Bezos delivers his furniture?
Watch this.
Let me show you. Look at that crane. Hold on. So he owns the top floors up there. So today is the day that he is delivering furniture. I think we all can relate to this. This is how we get our furniture delivered as well. Of course, you all know that that's my office right there, which I'm on the 4th floor, and there is Jeff Bezos' apartment.
Isn't that crazy?
On 26th Street. So there it goes.
Look at that couch. It's going up like what?
Is in there,
70
furniture
floors?
is being hoisted up.
I don't know.
That's probably 30-some.
30-some. That's a lot.
So that our friend over here, because you know what, this is how we all do it, by the way.
You can turn that off.
And then he's got more
What's so
cranes
crazy
over.
about that is just like you're shutting down multiple streets, and then they show there's multiple other cranes waiting to lift more stuff.
What is the cost factor? Not that he cares.
Doesn't matter. He's got $220 billion.
But you got to pay the city for permits to shut down entire blocks of Manhattan, and bring in the biggest crane in New York City.
Wouldn't that be nice? Wouldn't it be nice? Because last time I moved, it sounded a little bit different.
You know, just follow my lead.
Okay.
All right, okay. Here we go. All right, ready? Turn. Okay. Turn. I don't think we can turn anymore.
I just don't think it's gonna fit.
Oh yeah, well, come on, up. Here we go. Pivot.
Pivot.
This is how the rest of us have to do it.
It is. It never works.
Grab a friend.
Imagine just getting a crane and
cheap couch up there. He's got like a giant crane. Good for Jeff Bezos. That's pretty awesome. Good for him. All right, we got a lot more coming up. We have. What are we doing next year? Oh, this is a really great story.
Laura, we're going to focus on Laura's weekend.
Laura was at the baseball game.
Yeah,
where
Saturday
the
night.
new Seattle Mariner was called up, and he had a Cinderella story. And it's the thing that makes baseball one of the best sports, if not the best sport, to root for and watch.
Yep.
It's an unbelievable story, and we'll see what Laura's takeaway from it was. We'll be right back.
This hour is brought to you by Insulation Northwest.
It's a brave face we put on. We never want to be any trouble. But you know, getting older isn't all smiles and birthday parties. Sometimes it's facing the fact that we are aging. And you know what? That can be pretty hard. If you need a little support or just want to talk to someone, 988 is here for you. It's free and it's confidential. Call 988 anywhere, anytime. A message from the Washington State Department of Health.
Cold is weakening and rats are moving and mold is creeping and water seeping in. It's hard to be a homeowner, we know.
Without American Crawl Space and Pest Services, it is hard to be a homeowner. Dave Ross here. American Crawl are the heroes to call for insulation and pest issues because in addition to their great reviews and decades of experience, they also give out the most PSE insulation rebates of any insulation company in the state.
American Crawl, the heroes you call.
Get your free inspection at AmericanCrawl.com.
Sometimes I struggle to get to sleep. My body stopped for the day, but my mind is still running. So I take ZQuil.
ZQuil, the world's #1 sleep aid brand, has a range of non-habit-forming products to fit you and your family's needs. Invest in a great night's sleep for the best you tomorrow.
I'm awake and ready to take on anything.
Better days start with ZQuil nights. Explore our products at ZQuil.com. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
One of life's greatest mysteries has finally been solved.
Who let the dogs out?
It's Spruce, the new hard-working, worry-free weed and grass killer that's safe for use around people and pets. When used as directed, spray the leaves for visible results in just 1 hour and dead weeds in just 1 day. You spray, they play. Weeds die by the next day. Find Spruce wherever weed killers are sold.
Guys, tired all the time? Gaining weight? Low drive? These aren't just signs of aging. They could be low testosterone or other underlying issues. This June, for Men's Health Month, Revive Men's Health in Seattle is offering a free comprehensive wellness panel, a $400 value. It checks your testosterone, blood sugar, cholesterol, kidney, liver, thyroid, and heart health. No guessing, just answers. Over 100,000 men have trusted Revive to get real results. More energy, better sleep, improved mood, and confidence that shows. If something feels off, don't wait. Take control and protect your long-term health by knowing your numbers. This offer ends June 30th. Schedule your free comprehensive wellness panel today. Call 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com. Feel better. Live stronger. Start now.
Imagine finding your dream home and moving in right away. No waiting to sell your old place first. Sounds perfect, right? That's exactly what Orchard's Move First, Sell Later program lets you do. Buy your new home now and sell the old one later. Here's how it works. Orchard gives you cash so you can buy and move into your new home first on your timeline. No waiting, no showings, no double moves. Then the Orchard experts take it from there. They handle repairs on your old home for you so you attract the right buyers. Once they're done, a local Orchard agent lists and sells your home for top dollar. Orchard's Move First program gives you the freedom to buy and move into your new home first and sell your old home later. Buy before you sell and get top dollar for your home with Orchard. Ready to find out how much your home is worth? Visit Orchard.com to get your free home valuation. That's Orchard.com.
Do you get sinus infections, congestion, sinus pressure and pain, sinus headaches? You've gone to the doctor. You visit urgent care over and over again. And it's always the same thing, right? Oh, I know. Let's try antibiotics and some nasal sprays. But they just keep coming back. You may suffer with chronic sinus infections. The good news? Relief is possible. How? A minimally invasive procedure called the Sinusoft procedure, available only at the Modern Nose Clinic. Imagine a procedure so delicate there are no narcotics. Less cutting means less bleeding, so no packing, and no operating room. The Sinusoft procedure is designed for the clinic. If you suffer with chronic sinus infections, facial pain, pressure, and congestion, find out if the Sinusoft procedure, available only at the Modern Nose Clinic, is the solution for you. Call and set an appointment today. 206-388-2770. 206-388-2770. That's 206-388-2770.
Safety first comes with available financing at Bucky's Complete Auto. For oil changes, brakes, tune-ups, wiper blades, and factory maintenance, check the Bucky's near you at buckys.com.
KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Aaron Granillo. A former Seattle City Council member wants a seat in Congress. KIRO News Radio's Scott Carty was there as Shama Sawant announced her campaign today.
Surrounded by members of Workers Strike Back, Sawant announced she's challenging Representative Adam Smith for Washington's 9th Congressional District in the 2026 midterm election.
Democrats and Republicans are in power.
What do you say to the people that tell you you have no chance because they're in power?
You know what? I've heard that every single day of the whole decade and the year before that when I ran for the city council.
Sawant made repeated references to Smith, a ranking member of the House Armed Services Committee, as a warmonger, and she pledged her campaign would push free health care for all. Scott Carty, KIRO News Radio.
Recent DUI stop in Tacoma took an unexpected turn as the driver had a submachine gun in the car, along with many other weapons. Officers' body camera captured the arrest and the man's alarming admission.
When I smoke meth, I just sit there for like 10 hours, and it's like I'm just being sexually assaulted, and I feel like I'm being radicalized to go on a mass shooting, and hence the gun in the car.
Police say he had more guns and lots of ammunition in his home, too. Bellevue police say they took in 87 firearms at the department's inaugural gun buyback event over the weekend. Major David Sanabria says they are now running serial numbers on some of them
to make sure that none of the weapons that were turned in were stolen, and then we'll destroy the ones that are clear, and the ones that are kind of antique or curio will have to have a different process for those.
The police gave out nearly $13,000 in gift cards in exchange for those guns. Out of the closing bell report, and the White House is now signaling President Trump will hold a long-awaited call with China's president this week. CBS's Nancy Cordes reports this all comes as trade tensions between the two world's biggest economies ratchet back up.
We're told that there are conversations taking place at lower levels, but we're still watching to see if President Trump and President Xi themselves will actually have that conversation.
And both sides have been firing accusations against one another. It all led to some earlier losses on Wall Street to start the day, but at the close, there were some modest gains. The Dow gained 35 points, S&P ahead at 24, NASDAQ also in the green, gaining 128 points. Now to the Beacon Plumbing Traffic Desk. This report is brought to you by Seattle Sports. We have just cleared a disabled vehicle on I-90 westbound. This was just west of West Mercer Way. We're still seeing some slight backups on Mercer Island approaching the bridge, but other than that, looks like the map is actually in decent shape. Still seeing those SR-18 backups approaching I-90 going eastbound due to some ongoing road work there. Bellevue to Renton, about a 30-minute drive now. You got those usual slowdowns through the construction zone. Linwood to Seattle taking you about 35 minutes. Tacoma to Olympia is pretty much wide open. So is the Renton to Puyallup Drive, and the lake bridges are also good. And nothing slowing you down into Everett from Seattle or Bellevue. Download the Seattle Sports app to stay in the know with the latest news, scores, and opinions about your favorite teams. Your forecast now brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. We are all sunshine today. Temperatures in the mid 70s, or low 70s, I should say. Right now looking at 65 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Welcome back to the show. This is a dream come true story for everybody who's ever dreamed of being in the big leagues. This is what they want. Cole Young, who played for the Tacoma Rainiers until Thursday, right?
Called up on Thursday night.
Thursday night, he gets called up. We actually have video of him. This is really amazing. This is so cool. His coach, mid-game, tells him that he's going to be going. He's done for the game.
Right.
Usually
you're not going back out to the infield there, buddy.
Usually when a coach says that to you, you've done something wrong. Mm-hmm. But instead, he tells him what every minor league player dreams of hearing. We have video of this. Yeah. Let's watch this.
I meant to tell you this earlier, but I'm really proud of what you've done, how far you've come. Just take that to Seattle tomorrow, okay? Where? Seattle. When? Tomorrow. So you're done. You're not playing anymore this game. You're going to go play for Seattle. All right? Congratulations. Hey.
Coach is like, hey, how about a handshake? How about a hug? Oh, this is beautiful.
It's so cool. So the young guy you're hearing, that's Cole Young. The coach there, the manager of the Tacoma Rainiers is John Russell. How fun for him to be the guy who gets to tell you that your dreams are coming true. Like, how amazing is that moment? Then he gives him a hug, and then they send him up. So 24 hours later, he's playing for the Seattle Mariners, and he has an opportunity to make an impact in the game.
And so that was Thursday night, and the Friday that he didn't play, he got in the game on Saturday, started the game on Saturday. His folks were in the crowd.
Folks were in the
right?
stadium.
Your mom and dad watching you make your major league debut.
So cool. And then do we have video of what happens? All right,
Winning
this
run
is
is at third with one out. Cole Young today making his major league debut. One of the top prospects in baseball. At the plate, the bottom of the 11th inning, a chance to win it for the Mariners. Sands comes set. The pitch. Swinging a ground ball, bouncing softly to the first base throw. Oh, not in time! It's a walk-off for the Mariners. Cole Young in his major league debut is showered with seeds and gum and the water bucket in shallow right field. He has won it for the Mariners.
First player in franchise history to have a walk-off plate appearance as your first at bat.
In your first game?
In your first game.
Oh,
yeah. I'm sorry, first career game.
Okay,
Right. First career game.
First Mariner that's ever done that?
First Mariner that's ever done that in franchise
that's
history,
awesome.
which is amazing. And Laura, you were at this game. Is that right?
I was, yeah. And thank God I stayed until the 11th inning.
Because
I truly almost left.
If you've been a Mariners fan the last few weeks, if you stay into extra innings, it tends to not go your way.
It tends to be the worst decision you ever made in sports.
Yeah, I was at a game last Thursday that they lost by 7 in the 10th.
Yeah.
And then I think they did it again the next night.
Well, on Saturday they did it.
But Laura,
or Friday night they did it, rather.
You were there Saturday, so they ended up winning this game. What were your thoughts?
I think it's all because of the rally cap that I did.
Oh, yeah,
I think
nice.
they have me to thank, really.
Every fan makes the game better. Absolutely. It counts.
My thought was he's pretty cute.
You liked him?
Yeah.
Yeah, you found him attractive.
Yeah.
He's quite a catch, Cole Young. I mean,
No
he was
pun intended.
No pun intended. Our first round pick for the Mariners back in 22.
I love that that's your first thought. I was like, yeah, he's
kind of cute. He's kind of cute. Well, why wouldn't you?
That's great.
Yeah.
That's great. And he's going to be a good earner. That's another thing to look for in a potential mate.
Is that a thing?
What, to be a good earner?
Oh, no. Like baseball players.
Does he earn good money?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's going to earn
He
good
got
money.
a $3 million signing bonus when he signed with the
Yeah, he's a
Mariners.
multimillionaire. Well,
And you're
with age
listening,
and
Cole,
everything.
this is not what I care about. I care about your heart.
Well, no,
and
but
your
you
little
should-
mustache.
He's
His little mustache. So let me ask you guys this question: if we were to marry Laura off to a pro athlete, baseball's right up there. That's a good sport to be married to, don't you think?
Of all the pro athletics,
Of all the
that's
pro
a great.
sports,
ooh.
what was like if because Laura, I don't know. Do you follow a lot of professional sports, Laura?
I follow baseball more than anything.
Okay, so you're a fan of baseball.
Yeah.
That helps. That'd be a good thing if you're going to be
You actually know what he does.
a wag. You guys know what the term wag is? Wives and girlfriends.
Wives and girlfriends.
Wag.
Yep. I know that because of reality TV shows.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, however you know it, I'm glad you know it. Baseball would be a fine sport to marry into. What do you think the worst sport to marry into is? What would if we were going to give her advice if she started dating a pro athlete? Who would we not want her to date?
That's I hate to say this, but football players.
Now, why for you football players?
Well, couple things. They have the shortest pro career.
Yep.
And the body does the most damage to their body in that pro career.
That's the thing you want to think about is the length of career because that's earning potential. Also, the NFL does not have they do more recently. I feel like it with your star positions, but they don't have the same
Financial
guaranteed money.
Yeah.
Major League Baseball, basically everything is guaranteed.
Major League Baseball is the longest career of all the pro careers.
So the NFL
hockey players are taught to fight at the drop of a glove.
I love a hockey player.
Oh, gosh.
Oh, hockey players are so cute.
So she likes hockey. That's good. Well, their career middling as far as like career length. 5 years is the average hockey career. You know what the average salary for a professional NHL player is?
Do tell.
$3.5 million. Pretty good.
That's more than I have.
That's true.
Anything would be an upgrade.
Sure.
Let's be honest.
Their season is also pretty favorable. The NBA and the NHL both have the same length seasons, 5.5 months, 82 games. The NFL is really favorable, 18 weeks, 17 games.
Yeah, but
it's a short season, but
yeah, you just sell your body.
Super short career.
Yeah.
Major League Baseball, there's trade-offs, guaranteed money, but the length of the season is like 9 months. I'm sorry, 6 months, right?
6-7 months.
6-7 months.
Yeah.
But they play 162 games, so you basically don't see them for half.
Here's the deal: if you're gonna date and someday marry a pro athlete, they train year round. It's not a seasonal job. Off season nowadays to be competitive at the pro level in any sport, you are on it 24/7, 365. You are on the training clock, if not the playing clock.
They're also going to retire though. Any pro athlete, even if they have a long career, they're not going to be playing into their 40s.
No,
they're basically done at 40.
Yeah, then he's home all the time.
Or you're traveling because you're rich at that point.
Oh, that's true too. Yeah,
that's nice.
I love to travel.
The MLS
So,
has the shortest, has the lowest salary.
the soccer?
Soccer. $595,000 a year average.
WNBA money. That's awful.
Well, okay. WNBA would be
I'm not
worse.
telling you who to love, Laura, but that's not
Right,
a financially solid move to pick up somebody from the WNBA. I say let's not rule out the beekeeper. What do they make?
Well, yeah, what does the beekeeper make? I don't know. And it's an exciting life.
Sure.
Exciting
We did
life.
get some texts about him, I will say.
He was.
If you haven't watched the live stream today, I highly recommend it.
Yeah.
It's a
Laura,
good day to do it.
We're just trying to marry her off.
We're just trying to look out for her little sister over there. Yeah.
All right, we got a lot more coming up. Stick around. We'll be right back.
The Closing Bell is brought to you by Legacy Group Capital's Northwest Fund.
For more than 65 years, our service technicians at Bob's Heating and Air Conditioning have been proud to offer the home comfort solutions that your family needs. This summer, trust the team at Bob's to equip you with peace of mind, providing efficient service and expert knowledge to keep you safe and comfortable in your home. While temperatures may be on the rise, our service solutions remain steady and affordable. Plus, we'll provide you with a new filter replacement at each AC maintenance. Call Bob's Heating and Air Conditioning. Your family's comfort is our family's business.
Hey, Spike O'Neill for Integrity Roofing and Construction. Homeowners, do yourself a favor. Protect your biggest investment now with Integrity Roofing and Construction. Get ahead of the summer rush. Integrity, your family-owned, award-winning roofing and construction company, is ready to give your home the protection it deserves. Integrity offers complete in-house construction division, design division for all your projects. They're known for their top-notch service and on-site project management that makes every process incredibly easy. Beat the summer rush and call Integrity today at 206-202-ROOF. That's 206-202-ROOF for a free estimate, or find them online at integrityrc.com.
Looking for high-quality assisted living that won't drain your life savings? At Care Partners Living, we offer compassionate care at a price that helps stretch and preserve your estate. No unnecessary luxury, just the support you need with dignity and heart. And if you ever need to convert to Medicaid, you don't have to move. With communities across Washington and Arizona, including new locations in Port Orchard, Sumner, Linwood, and North Creek Bothell, there's a Care Partners community near you. Care Partners Living, compassionate care and peace of mind. Visit carepartnersliving.com.
When you switch to Progressive, you could save bundling your home and auto. Then you could put that money towards some of the surprisingly more expensive things in life.
May I help you? I just wanted to request a late checkout, please. Of course. That's $30 per hour for up to 4 hours. Huh. Okay, but if you can offer a late checkout, then that probably means no one is staying in that room. So if it's empty, maybe I can just stay a few extra hours. Oh, aren't you adorable?
Life costs a lot, so bundle and you could save with Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Hey folks, John Curley here. One of the best home comfort inventions of recent time, mini split systems. Now you can enjoy efficient heating and cooling while saving energy and reducing utility bills with personalized room comfort. Call my friends at Home Comfort Alliance for a free consultation, and for a limited time, get 18 months same as cash financing on all qualified systems. For all your heating, cooling, plumbing, and electrical needs, call the comfort people. Home Comfort Alliance. Visit homecomfortalliance.com.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Hey, Green Gobbler here. So you've got a clogged drain in your bathroom. Water in the sink's overstaying its welcome. You're spitting today's toothpaste on top of yesterday's toothpaste. You hope that it'd go away. Yeah, clogs don't just go away. I make them go away. I'm Green Gobbler, the only clog dissolver you need. I'm bleach-free, safe for your pipes, and I work. Guaranteed or your money back. Because I never met a clog that was gonna unclog itself. Green Gobbler. Let the gobbler get it.
Did you know that over the past 10 years, home values have increased the most during the first quarter of the year? So how much is your home worth right now? Check it out instantly at sellwithwest.com. Sure, there are other apps out there you can use, but most of them are national companies. If you want local expertise, someone who actually knows what's happening with the housing market in your neighborhood, there's no one more local than Wes Jones. If you're even thinking about making a move in 2025, go to sellwithwest.com, sellwithwest.com, and start by using their free home value calculator to see what your home is worth. It might be worth more than you think. You'll get so much more than just a number from Wes Jones. We're talking about recent sales in your neighborhood, the market temperature in your city, side-by-side comparisons of multiple online estimates. You can even calculate how much equity you have, and even a breakdown of how your home's value has changed over time. So here's what you have to do. Go to sellwithwest.com, type in your address, and bam, you'll have instant access to all of this and more. It's fast, easy, it's local. Sellwithwest.com, a better way to sell your home.
From office supplies to IT essentials, Amazon Business provides tools that help you save costs and make insight-based decisions. Learn how to bring your visions to life at AmazonBusiness.com.
Safety comes first. When money is tight, Buc-ee's has you covered with no credit financing. For oil changes, wiper blades, brakes, tire rotation, tune-ups, and factory maintenance, it's Buc-ee's Complete Auto. No appointment needed, and financing is available. Check Buc-ee's.com for the location near you.
Bonneville International Radio Station contests are open to participants 18 years of age or older that are residents of Washington State unless otherwise specified. Employees or agents of the station, Bonneville International Corporation, other area radio stations, or any entity associated with the contest are not eligible to win unless the station otherwise specifies at its own discretion. Persons who have won in the last 60 days from a station contest or event may not be eligible. Full general contest rules are available on mynorthwest.com or in person at the station during regular business hours.
Welcome back to the show. All right, I saw this video on, I was cruising around on X looking for show content, and I came across this video of this woman who had apparently just gone into a Subway for the first time in many years.
So you're following what, young girls eating subs? Is that a Substack you're on or something?
That's one of my follows, yeah. No.
How do you come across a lady? That's an interesting that this popped up on your feed.
Women eating sandwiches.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is weird. When you say it like that is strange.
Fair enough.
But it was fast food related, and she was apparently shocked at the price of. Can we play this video, Laura? Do we have this for the audience? We can play a second of it. Her whining about the price of sandwiches.
Y'all, I am appalled. Y'all, I am appalled. I just went to Subway for probably the first time in like 10 years and ordered one chicken bacon ranch wrap and a Diet Coke, a small Diet Coke, small drink. When they told me my total, I literally looked at the guy and said, there's no way. It was $17.11
All right, that's good.
for this chicken bacon ranch wrap.
Have you guys noticed this? The price of fast food has gotten crazy.
It has. Absolutely nuts.
I'd say for like the past, I've noticed this trend for probably the past 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
It has just gotten really expensive. I used to think of fast food as like, all right, it's a cheap alternative to normal food, and it's a convenient factor, so I'm willing to pay maybe a little extra for convenience, but I'm certainly not willing to pay it as a premium.
Right.
But it used to be legit cheap. Fast food used to be legit cheap. I was watching a commercial the other day for this McDonald's meal. I see a lot of fast food algorithms. That's what chases me around.
I'm seeing a pattern here.
Well, from the 90s, it was this ad for McDonald's, and it was like, you can get a Big Mac meal with a supersized fry, so 30% more fries, and a giant drink that's the size of your head, and it's like $2.39.
Right.
Or something crazy. And I remember those prices, and when you buy that same meal now, it's nearing $20.
Yeah.
Or you go to Subway. Like when I was a kid, you go to Subway, and it was the $5 footlong.
Sure, you bet.
And for $5, you could be reasonably full. And now, everything has gotten
and a small drink, $17.
Insane.
Yeah.
What's the? Is it just a reminder to all of us, like, just don't eat fast food because fast food's going to kill you anyway.
Well,
and now you're going to do it for a lot of money.
You're not going to get a break at a restaurant either. There are factors there. Both of these commodities have skyrocketed in price. A lot of factors come into play. First off is labor. if you want to pay a living wage to folks, if folks are going to spend, years in these, what used to be entry-level starter jobs, learn how to be a teammate kind of jobs, it's not the case anymore. People got to make a living at these restaurants, at these fast food joints.
But that doesn't even track for me because the McDonald's that I go to, whenever I get my kids McDonald's.
Automated?
It's all automated.
Yeah.
And they're still charging crazy prices.
Yeah, but they got some humans back there, though. They got some humans.
Not for long.
They've taken a few of the humans out of the mix. You can order on a board. Remember when they were offshoring their drive-through work?
Yeah.
Remember that? You go up to drive-through and somebody in Bangladesh is taking your. I'm serious.
I never heard of that.
Somebody in Bangladesh is taking your order at the drive-through McDonald's here in America.
That's crazy.
They got and some companies still do it, but I don't know if it was McDonald's or one of the fast food chains got caught. Public caught wind of it. Nobody wanted to go in
unless you drive through. I haven't ordered from a human in a long time.
Are you using the app?
No, I don't. Well, sometimes I'll use an app for if I'm going to a place that usually it's a split decision. Like I'm just making it quickly as I'm driving by. I'm like, oh, that sounds good. But every time I go to Taco Bell, I'm ordering on a machine. Every time I go to McDonald's, I'm ordering on a machine. I don't ever talk to a person anymore.
Wow.
So why still the sky-high prices? I guess those machines are expensive.
Well, there's supply chains that started with the pandemic that still aren't quite put together.
Maybe.
The cost of ingredients has gone up. The cost of labor has gone up, whether it's through delivery or people in the stores actually making your goods. All these costs have kind of tick up.
It has.
And now they're charging $7 for the average price of a quarter pounder with cheese is almost $6.
Ugh.
Right? For a sandwich. Just a sandwich. This is
crazy.
Used to be you had to go to an airport to pay that much at a fast food place.
Yeah.
That's the McDonald's airport pricing. And now that's everywhere you go, that same price.
Wild.
But what they're all coming up with these promotional value menu deals. Club members get an app. The app comes out for McDonald's and you get these special deals.
Yeah. They always ask you, did you order on the app today? And if you have, check your points. You can get a free thing.
Well, part of the increased prices of these fast food places is they know, okay, less people are going to come through. That means we can put less staff in the stores. So it all equates together. They have 20% diminished in customer base. They can cut their labor costs accordingly. They can then drive people under their apps to get loyalty programs going, to get rewards. Like everything else, fast food now is into the reward program world.
Sure.
We had a story a couple weeks ago, Laura. Remember this? There was somebody had a frequent buyer program or somebody. Remember when Greg was in with us?
Shake Shack.
Shake Shack.
Yeah, they've got an app that encourages you if you buy a certain number of burgers, to be determined, within a certain window, to try to get people to come back. And
I like all that.
They're doing the dollar soda
it's
thing.
Like when I used to go coffee shops. You go to
you get a punch card.
Get your punch card.
Yeah.
Loyalty programs.
So what they do is they got your cards literally like a copy of your artery, and they add a little bit more plaque every time. When your artery completely closes, you get a free burger.
That is a good thing. If it's getting too expensive, then they'll discourage people from eating foods that are ultimately going to be bad for them someday.
I said a long time ago, and I still believe it's true today. Every time somebody hands you food through a window, it takes a day off the end of your life.
But it tastes so good.
It tastes so good.
It tastes so good.
Right to the end.
All right, we got a lot more coming up. We have. Let's see, what is this? This is amazing. This is the coolest estate sale I've ever heard of. We do a lot. We love garage sailing in my family.
Yeah,
it's like a family hobby now. It's a lot of fun. I hated it when I was a kid, but I like it now as an adult. I'm trying to get my kids to like it too. But you told me about the story in Malibu of a famous person who had an estate sale.
A friend of mine texted us this weekend.
They actually
went?
Oh, this is
stood
great.
in line for hours.
All right, we'll tell you who. This is like a dream garage sale. This is amazing. We'll tell you who next. Stick around.
Choke Points with Chris Sullivan.
With Choke Points, we try to answer listeners' questions. It can be as simple as a neighborhood stop sign, or it can be as big as the budget for transportation. I don't care. I'll find the answer for you. It's really easy to get a hold of me at mynorthwest.com. We have a direct link there that gets right to me. You can also do it in the app. You can hit me up on the text line.
Choke Points, presented by Carter Subaru. Tuesdays and Thursdays on KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM.
This week's First Mark Challenge victory, well, it goes to Mike. Hey, Mike, why did you call First Mark Insurance?
My wife and I moved here from New York City and found this great guy. It got pricey, but because he was good to us over the years, we stayed loyal to him. But then one day I got an increase that was quite unacceptable. So I made one phone call. I didn't do any shopping. My wife told me to call First Mark.
Mike, were they able to save you and your family money?
Oh, yes. It was over $100 a month.
What would you tell others they can expect when they call FirstMark?
The most competitive pricing that you can find. And they had terrific customer service. Even if you're on the phone with them, you can tell they have a smile on their face, so you can tell they love what they're doing.
Do you wish you would have made that call earlier?
I was just kicking myself as you were speaking because I didn't do it sooner.
Well, you just heard. Mike did it. My family did it. You got to do it too. It's totally free. Take the FirstMark Challenge. See how much they can save you and how much better your coverage will get. Maybe you will be our next FirstMark Challenge victory. Just go to firstmarkinsurance.com. That's firstmarkinsurance.com.
You listen to the John Curley Show every afternoon. What does John listen to every morning?
I listen to Charlie and Manda, get my pot of coffee going, then turn on Seattle's Morning News, and I begin to build my show that way. Now, you want straight news without opinion, just giving it to you with the facts. There's only one place to go, Seattle's Morning News.
The perfect bookends to your daily commute. Seattle's Morning News and the John Curley Show on KIRO News Radio. Download the KIRO News Radio app to listen anytime.
Patrick was way behind on his IRS taxes.
I was in way over my head. The total amount ended up being somewhere just over $30,000. $30,000.
Then the IRS came to collect.
Started getting letter after letter. A lien had been filed against me. They were going to basically hang me completely out to dry.
He had to do something.
That's when I reached out to Optima Tax Relief.
Patrick's life quickly got a lot easier.
It was very easy. Pretty much hands off, they picked up the ball and ran with it.
And how'd it go?
I couldn't believe it. I had to ask 2 or 3 times. I saved an incredible amount of money.
How does Patrick feel about Optima?
Couldn't be happier. They definitely helped me. Optima Tax Relief, the best place to call. They're the best in the business.
Do what Patrick did and call Optima Tax Relief for a free consultation. Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Testimonial from an actual client. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Sharp Vision Modern LASIK and Lens has given me back clear vision. They've performed over 80,000 successful lens replacement surgeries. At Sharp Vision, you'll get the best price combined with the best experience. Sharp-vision.com. That's sharp with an E, -vision.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Aaron Granillo.
Your best source for local news.
Newly released police video shows the arrest of a 17-year-old.
KIRO News Radio.
It started as a puddle.
Where?
In the shower.
Uh-oh.
Then the kitchen sink.
Started backing up?
Yeah.
I know where this is going.
Clogged up.
Right. No problem.
Beg your pardon?
There's no clog we can't clear.
You're Dan.
From Apollo Plumbing.
This is going to get pricey.
How about $83?
To clear my drain?
Apollo Plumbing clears main drains every day.
For $83?
83 or it's free.
What's the catch?
No catch. We'll even do a camera inspection.
Why's that?
It's the best way to find the cause of your clog.
And it's included?
No extra charge. Truth is, we hate clogs.
I don't love them.
Seen them all.
Ew.
I promise, there's no clog Apollo can't clear.
Guaranteed.
83 or free.
Goodbye, slow drains.
All it takes is an accessible clean out.
And Apollo gets my drains draining again.
You call, we come, it's fixed.
My heroes.
Just doing our job.
Thank you, Apollo Plumbing.
ApolloPlumbing.com.
An Aussie trucker travels to America to hike an epic trail.
It was rocky, it was imposing.
But Eric Robinson never made it to the end. I'm Dave Cawley. Follow my podcast, Uinta Triangle, UINTA, on Apple Podcasts or wherever you listen.
Your best source for local news. KIRO News Radio. KIRO FM and HD1. Tacoma, Seattle. Northwest News.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Progressive Insurance.
I'm Cammie McCormick. The suspect in yesterday's attack in Boulder, Colorado, has been formally charged.
My office has charged Mohammed Sabri Solomon, age 45, with the commission of a hate crime.
Acting U.S. Attorney Bishop Gruhl says the suspect targeted what he called Zionists, in this case, a group bringing attention to hostages in Gaza.
And when he was interviewed about the attack, he said he wanted them all to die. He had no regrets, and he would go back and do it again. He said that he had previously tried to purchase a firearm, but resorted to the Molotov cocktails when he could not purchase a gun because he was not a legal citizen.
Officials now say 12 people were injured. CBS's Nicole Scanga reports the incident has prompted even more security nationwide.
There is a heightened police presence in large cities and have been really since that attack in Washington, D.C. at the Capitol Jewish Museum 2 weeks ago. We saw increased patrols in cities ranging from Washington, D.C. to Los Angeles to Baltimore to New York to Chicago, and that remains the case.
Delegations from Ukraine and Russia today held a second round of direct talks on ending the war. Correspondent Elizabeth Palmer reports there was no breakthrough.
The talks in Istanbul ended after only an hour and a half, which tells you a lot. Ukraine says it had given the Russians its plan for a ceasefire in advance, but that Russia only offered its plan today when they showed up in Istanbul, and the Ukrainians said that just didn't give them enough time to analyze it.
The smoke from the wildfires in Canada continues to impact the northern tier of the U.S., but meteorologist Craig Allen tells us it's moving.
Most of the smoke is in the upper levels of the atmosphere, causing very hazy, discolored skies, but that smoke is being blown all the way down into the deep south, too, down the Mississippi Valley and along the Gulf states.
Northern lights could be visible in parts of the Northeast following the solar storms this weekend. The sun burped out another burst of energy today that's headed to Earth. Some good news about Newark Airport, which has seen its share of troubles lately, from tech problems to an air traffic controller shortage. A construction project on a main runway wrapped up a week early. CBS's Tom Hansen.
Interesting or odd to say that a $121 million project might be the easiest hurdle that Newark has faced in this ongoing crisis.
The FAA expects to begin easing some flight limits at the airport next week. It is the second busiest airport in the New York City area. This is CBS News.
A word from Progressive Insurance. Life can be hard, so Progressive can make bundling your home and auto easy. Hope that helps. Learn more at Progressive.com or 1-800-PROGRESSIVE.
Coming up, Enumclaw police investigate an armed break-in at a school. The details after we go to the Beacon Plumbing traffic desk. This report is brought to you by Beacon Plumbing, clearing up some earlier issues we saw today, including on eastbound SR 18. It is clear following a crash. All lanes are now back open, but still seeing some delays in the area. Crews have wrapped up their road repair work on southbound I-5 near Grand Mound. They will be back tomorrow, so plan on some more lengthy delays in that area. Checking out the rest of the map, looking at about a 35-minute drive from Linwood to Seattle. Tacoma to Olympia, 38 minutes. Just some minor backups around JBLM. Bellevue to Renton, 30 minutes. A little thick at a downtown Bellevue, and then clears up once you pass Newcastle. Renton to Puyallup is a 45-minute drive. Right now, the lake bridges are wide open. For all of your heating, electrical, septic, and mechanical needs, stop freaking and call Beacon.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Aaron Granello. A break-in at an Enumclaw school now prompting concerns that somebody there may be planning a shooting. KIRO News Radio's Heather Bosch has the details.
Surveillance video caught 3 masked intruders, one with a handgun, who broke into Enumclaw High School over the weekend.
It seems to us that maybe they were rehearsing for an active shooter event.
Police Chief Tim Floyd says they didn't take or break anything.
The way they were moving about the building with the one subject with the gun, another subject was filming the entire thing. It seemed like reconnaissance.
Floyd says there was no previously known threat to the school. They've boosted security as a precaution. Heather Bosch, KIRO News Radio.
Police body camera footage shows Seattle officers chasing down a man who was suspected of dealing drugs near 3rd and Wall in Belltown. This happened on Friday when police say the man pulled a gun and an officer opened fire.
Down!
Suspect was not hurt, but he was taken to the hospital complaining of chest pains. The officer who shot remains on administrative leave. A joint operation between Seattle Police and the feds leads to more than a dozen arrests in the Chinatown International District. KIRO News Radio's James Lynch reports.
This was an 18-month undercover operation that culminated in 14 indictments and 11 arrests last week, along with the seizure of $3 million in drugs, cash, and weapons. Here's DEA Special Agent in Charge, David Reams.
Drugs and guns are evils that go together. And in this case, we targeted offenders who use both to prey on some of our most vulnerable communities. They dealt in death in the form of drugs and guns.
3 people are still at large, and the operation is ongoing. In Seattle, James Lynch, KIRO Newsradio.
Seattle Mariners honor one of the game's all-time great pitchers.
Randy Johnson with the first Mariner no-hitter in history.
Mariners announcing today they are retiring Randy Johnson's number 51 jersey. The big unit played 10 seasons here in Seattle. He won a Cy Young here as part of his Hall of Fame career. Mariners have also retired the number 51 for fellow Hall of Famer Ichiro Suzuki. Weather report now brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. We do have our first 9 p.m. sunset tonight, and it'll be a pleasant afternoon as well. 68 for the high today, and then 70s for the rest of the week. Right now, 68 in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News. It's the all-new Jake and Spike Show on KIRO News Radio.
Welcome back to the show. Just 1 hour to go, 2 hours down, 1 more hour with us. But don't worry, you can always listen to the podcast. If you miss us, you can watch the YouTube live after show. It's not live, but after we do the live show, they chop it up and it's immediately available for you. So you can watch it, take us for 3 hours anywhere you want. A lot of people have a drink at the end of the night and enjoy the show.
If you join us mid-show and you wonder what merriment you've missed, you can go back and find it at your leisure.
We had a great beekeeper interview at 1 o'clock. We talked to a French beekeeper who told us how they're going to, what the next steps are for all those bees up in Whatcom County that fell out of the truck. Great story. You're not going to want to miss that one, so go back and watch that. All right.
We had Chris Sullivan on about the Randy Johnson retirement.
Yeah, we get into the nitty-gritty of
Yeah.
that in a way that nobody else can cover, just our show. So make sure you go back and listen to that. That was at 12:30. Okay, a lot of stuff to get to. Some lighter stories, but before we get into these lighter stories, I do want to do this story really fast, just so we put the word out. I keep seeing these pictures of these 3 missing little girls. It's on mynorthwest.com.
From Wenatchee.
And every time I see them, my heart breaks, and I think, my goodness, how their family must be feeling right now. There's 3 girls. It's not an Amber Alert. There's a difference. It's not an Amber Alert. This is an endangered missing person alert, which was put out. And I actually was clued into this on one of those road signs that you drive on.
Oh, the boards, the flashing. Okay, yeah.
On I-5. I'm driving under it, and I see that there's a missing person alert, and they had the number of they had a vehicle make and model and a license plate, and it was a missing. They were looking for a GMC Sierra, I think it's a 1500, but it's a truck, a white truck. And as I'm reading this, I look at this, I look straight ahead of me, and literally right ahead of me, like kind of far ahead of me on the freeway, but far enough that I can see, close enough that I can see what it was. A white GMC Sierra.
You're kidding me.
Yeah. And so I did what probably anybody does. I sped right up to try to look
at the plate.
Yeah, to look at the license plate, because the license plate they're looking for is on this truck is D20165C. So if you see a 2017-ish GMC Sierra pickup truck, Washington license plate number D20165C, then they'd like you to call the Washington State. Just call 911. But yeah, 3 little girls who were on a visit with their dad have yet to be returned after this visit. It's just
part
a
of a visitation plan that the father and the estranged the mother have this. He's got visitation rights. The 3 kids were with him, and they haven't been seen since they went on this visit with him.
He's in a tricky situation too, because they list him as homeless. They say that he's homeless, so clearly there's something going on there. We don't know, but we don't know all the details. But he's listed as homeless. He spends his time either in his truck or at various hotels and motels and surrounding campgrounds. This is one of the stories where I feel so bad about it, but at the same time, there's a part of me that goes, well, at least they're with a parent. Like, I don't know what his situation is.
Right.
And I don't know what the situation is with the mom. But most of these, when there's kids missing, it is one of the 2 parents.
Yeah, most often the case, absolutely.
It's not like a stranger snatched them off the street.
Right.
But it's still,
and they know who to look. They know who they're looking for.
Yeah, but it's still, if he's in a situation where he's currently listed as homeless, again, I don't know what the reason for that is, and he has not returned the kids at their agreed upon time, then, they want to find the kids and they want to make sure that everybody's safe. And so if you see a white GMC Sierra with that license plate number, again, D20165C, then call 911.
Yeah, exactly.
Just give them a call.
Yep.
All right. Let's see here. I saw this sign, and I thought this was great. I have a picture of it to share with you. It's a yard sign. Look at this. Is this the best?
Hello, my name. If you don't see the video, if you're not on the YouTube page, you're really missing out on life. Hello, my name is Inigo Montoya. There's a yard sale at Raymond Circle May. Prepare to buy.
Prepare to buy.
That's brilliant.
Isn't that great? And it's a picture of Inigo Montoya
it's
from
awesome.
Princess Bride.
Mandy Patinkin.
Mandy Patinkin.
You betcha.
Fantastic. Do you guys do a lot of yard sale, a lot of garage sailing in your family?
I told you I'm prohibited. I'm
not allowed to
prohibited.
go.
I'm not allowed to
because
go.
You've got so much stuff.
I got too much stuff. My wife doesn't want to ever let us have a yard sale.
Sure.
So, and we could literally.
She doesn't want to get rid of your treasures?
She doesn't. Well, my wife, we live a very public life in this. You and I both know this.
Yeah.
A very public life in what we choose to do. And Melissa's very protective about the
sure.
family's privacy.
Yeah. That makes sense.
So she doesn't want anybody coming over, just looky-loos.
Yeah.
She actually believes people would come to a garage sale for me just to look at my stuff.
Just to look at your junk.
Spike O'Neill's 30-some years in radio.
They might. You got a lot of cool stuff.
I got a lot of really cool stuff, but Melissa doesn't want people to know where we live.
That makes sense.
What our stuff is.
We recently had a show auction winner who donated a bunch of money to the treehouse, and so he came in and Ken, cool dude, and as part of his prize package, you just tossed in because you were trying to get the numbers up. You just tossed in a bunch of stuff that you had, but it was really cool stuff.
That's pretty good stuff.
Like you had some Chevy Chase, like a Chevy Chase autograph.
It was a framed, cut, beautiful piece from Caddyshack, autographed by Chevy Chase.
Bunch of sports memorabilia.
A large autograph football I had, and each Ichiro, Hall of Famer Ichiro, had his rookie year Mariner jersey with the All-Star Game patch on it, the 100th year baseball patch on it. It was a nice piece. Detlef Schrempf, Sonic jersey was in that bag.
Yeah.
I mean, Aerosmith autographs and a few other things.
I think you'd have a killer
things.
garage sale.
I'd have a great garage sale, but Melissa doesn't want anybody
what'd be
near our
cool,
house.
though?
I'd have to go to I'd have to go to a fairgrounds.
You got to go to a what do they call those?
Flea market.
A flea market.
Yeah, and set up a table at a flea market.
Yeah, and put on a disguise. Sell your stuff.
No, you want to know why I'm not allowed to go? Because I'd come home with more stuff than I left the house with.
Of course.
That's why I'm not allowed to go to yard sales.
Do you have that gene in your DNA? Is that part of your DNA? Are you a collector of things?
It's funny you say that because I'm a bit of a pack rat. I'm not a hoarder. We keep the house clean. It's not a health or safety issue. It's not a fire issue.
You're not one of those people who has to crawl their
way
way through
and
newspaper stacks.
build trails through your home. We're not there. I was talking to a therapist once.
Really?
Yes, about my inability to ever throw anything away.
Do tell.
And it turns out that when we had a house fire when I was a little kid, we lost everything.
Oh, it's devastating.
And he said that's probably why you have such a fear of letting anything go.
Because you
had lost everything. And subliminally now, when you get something, you hold on to something.
Sure.
I couldn't tell you the time I ever sold anything.
Mm.
We eventually donated it. We donate things. That's what we do. When we have a full storage unit.
I donate
and
stuff.
a full house.
I donate vehicles when they run out of gas.
That's what I heard about that. Well, I've never sold a car. I donated it. When we got rid of a car, I
never
donated
sold a car.
Never. I've never sold a car.
Really?
Never. I've either totaled it or donated it.
Huh. That's a big.
Right.
That's a big spectrum.
Something's wrong there.
You should sell it. You should try selling a car. It's pretty great.
But
actually,
I'll need it.
I'll
need it someday.
I'll be your car. I'll be your therapist for you. I know why you haven't sold a car.
Why?
Because you made a career out of it for a long time. You watched your dad wheel and deal.
True.
And you said, I don't want to be a part of this.
No.
I can't do it. You have PTSD from it.
We own 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We own 7 cars and 3 motorcycles.
Yikes!
Right? That's nuts.
Keep all this stuff.
Some at different friends' houses, and some at most.
Do you have any storage units?
Yeah, I got 1 storage unit.
You got a storage
full,
unit? Yeah.
Big full.
Of course, it's full.
Oh, but you know what?
Nobody has an empty storage.
We
unit.
downside. No, but I mean like cramped.
Full.
It's like the end of Raiders of the Lost Ark. My storage unit.
That is your scary hoarder.
That's
unit.
crazy. Yeah.
That's where you hide all those.
We downsized 2 years ago. We cut it in half. We went from a 10 by 20. We had a 10 by 20 storage unit full.
Louise.
And now it's a 10 by 10.
That's a lot of space.
It's a lot of space. Furniture from
floor to ceiling.
Oh yeah. We have industrial shelving on both sides, like the big iron shelving with plywood. I have like three levels of storage in my storage unit.
Do you ever go in there?
How did we get into this?
I don't know how we got into this, but I think it's funny. Do you ever go in there and just sit with your stuff and just look around and go,
I'm paying to not have to look at my stuff. If I wanted to look at my stuff, I'd have it at the house.
You want to know what a sweet business is?
What?
Owning a storage facility.
You print money.
We have
you just print money.
We have some family friends who own a very big storage facility.
Yeah.
The amount the amount of money that they're able to charge per unit it blows my mind.
It is, and it's gone up, like it goes up twice a year.
It's unbelievable.
Twice a year they raise our rates in the storage unit world.
Because you know what you're
people
selling?
Keep moving here.
You know what you're selling? You're not selling storage for people. You're selling peace of mind so that they don't have to throw something away. And you're actually like, it's an emotional thing that you're selling. You're not selling because like you don't ever want to throw things away.
No.
You're like a fire victim survivor.
Yeah.
That's what they're selling.
I've got
keeping you safe from a fire.
I've got one shelf full of framed artwork. I mean, just full of framed artwork.
Sure.
And it's all near and dear to me. It's mementos from my past. It's, pieces that we've collected over our lives together,
Someday,
Melissa and I.
You'll hand that storage unit key over to your kids.
And they'll just throw a match in.
They'll say,
burn it.
Auction it.
Right?
Let it go.
Yeah, I'd be the golden goose of Storage Wars.
Sounds like you are.
Yeah.
We go to a lot of garage sales. I'm excited because it's garage sale season.
It is full swing.
Full swing.
Yep.
People are doing it. This is I would actually probably say that the coming up weekend is going to be a big day for garage sailors out there, and for a number of reasons. Sports has just ended for a lot of people.
Yes.
So on the weekends where beforehand they were chasing their kids around, they don't have to do that now.
Right.
Everybody's trying to get rid of as much stuff as they can before the summertime, like you, so they can clear room for other junk that they're going to go find.
Bring in. Yep.
So we go with the whole family. I used to hate doing this when I was a kid. My parents were like massive garage sailors. They loved it. My mom really loved it more than my dad. But we would go with her all the time. Every Saturday it was like, let's go garage sailing. But now that I'm an adult, I love it. Because you do get to dig through other people's stuff, and they have amazing stuff.
Yep.
I bought a table one time at an estate sale for $50 that ended up being worth thousands and thousands of dollars. A collector table. Like you can find amazing stuff.
Yeah.
And you showed me the story, which I thought was really fun. Your friend called you, who was at an estate sale
texted us
in Malibu.
Right.
Tell us about this.
So my friend who's grew up, born and raised here, but lives down in California now, texted that they had just spent 6 hours in line waiting to get in to the 3-day Mrs. Tom Petty's Malibu estate sale. You know, Tom Petty passed away, 2017, almost going to be 8 years this year.
Yeah.
And there's been a bit of a fight a little bit amongst the family about the estate and the rights to the music and all the things. So anyway, Mrs. Petty is having an estate sale at Tom Petty's Malibu home. And people lined up for hours. My friend stood in line for 6 hours.
Even if you're not going to buy anything.
Just
be cool.
exactly.
It's cool to say you were at Tom Petty's
walk through
Malibu
Tom Petty's house. But people bought everything they had to offer.
Listen to this guy. Listen to what talent. It's a long opening.
Oh, it's just instrumental.
Oh, is this instrumental? There's no singing.
Please don't promises. Ooh. Anyway, I don't want me singing Tom Petty. People bought everything they had. Furniture, rugs, artwork, books, lamps, cookbooks, pillows, pillowcases, sheet sets, comforters.
Sheets is weird.
Duvets. Yeah,
Sheets
Tom
is
Petty's
weird.
pillowcases.
Yeah. Even a famous person's sheets, I would not want.
Dishes, glassware, collector plates,
That
bowls.
would be cool. The cool thing is, like, when you go to a normal garage sale, there's no story connected to it. You might say, like, I found a cool thing.
That's
and
cool.
yada, yada.
Sheets. I don't mind sleeping on secondhand sheets. I'll wash them. Boom.
I wouldn't do that, but I would buy like a cool looking
table lamp,
drink set,
right?
of
coasters,
cups, and things like that.
Right? Yeah.
Because then you got a conversation piece. But if it's Tom Petty's, you can be like, hey, this was Tom Petty. And you just imagine who he had cocktails with when you're drinking out of those glasses.
Right?
You know?
Yeah.
Who would be, if you could go to any garage sale, like if any famous and again, most famous people don't have garage sales.
No, they don't.
For the very reason that you described earlier, because they
looky-loos.
value their privacy.
Right.
They don't want weird people walking through their house. But this is a unique situation because he's been dead for a while.
Yeah.
The family wants to get rid of the stuff.
Turn the page.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who would be the
It
person you
is
would...
Tom Petty's battery-operated lantern. When I
we
go
have
camping.
video? Oh, yeah, there it is.
Oh, yeah, look at
Video
it. Look at this, right? It's like every garage sale you see anywhere.
It's a little underwhelming, actually.
He's just an average Joe.
He is.
Right? Look at him. He's got ceramic bowls from the kitchen that are on sale. And people are paying like nutsy prices because it was Tom Petty's. $25 for a pillowcase. Tom Petty may or may not have put his head on this pillowcase.
Sold, a book says.
Every book was $15.
Tom Petty might have
They
read.
let 25 people in at a time. And they would to mitigate the crowd size.
Can you pause that, Laura, right there? Bath towels, $10 each.
Right.
Large towels, $15. Beach towels, $20 each. These are like old towels. Washcloths, $3.
$3 for a Tom Petty washcloth. Wouldn't you want one? You know you want one.
Is the family hurting for money? I don't understand this.
I don't think
Why
so.
Why are we selling washcloths for $3?
Because
why not just give them away? Just give them away. How many
know.
washcloths does he have? What's that, like $100 in the washcloth?
I'll tell you why. Because somewhere in that crowd of the 3-day Tom Petty's widow's estate sale in Malibu, somebody is so proud of Tom Petty's washcloth. They probably have it framed now in the living room.
Just give it away.
But
for $3, give it away. If somebody did a garage sale at my house, I'm not even rich, and I'm not Tom Petty. I just give them away. I couldn't sell a washcloth. How do you sell a washcloth? It's old. It's washed your face and your disgusting body. Like, why would you charge somebody for that?
Well, if Tom Petty's DNA. I have Tom Petty's DNA.
I would give it away. If somebody wanted a washcloth of mine, but that's, you know what? I give the shirt off my back.
You would.
Not literally,
You're a good
but
man.
I would give it.
I would have loved to
washcloth
just
away.
walk through the house. You know, I would have loved to have been able to say I walked through Tom Petty's place. I'd have picked up a little plate or some kind of one of a kind.
You got to buy something.
One little something or other.
Laura,
you know?
what would you pick up? Would you pay $3 for a washcloth?
Oh, I saw a YouTube comment on this video that said, can you imagine like serving mac and cheese at Thanksgiving out of the casserole dish and be like, this is Tom Petty's casserole dish?
It's true.
It's something you could bring out at a party. I loved your idea of drink glasses.
Oh, that'd be the
Right.
best.
Yeah.
I would do that.
Yep, he probably drank with Bob Dylan when they wrote the Traveling Wilburys album. They probably shared lemonades.
You could lie
Roy
about it. You could be
Orbison,
like, I talked to his wife.
Bob Dylan,
They told
Jeff
me.
Lynne, George Harrison.
This was Bob Dylan's favorite cocktail
Every
glass
guy said to
when
me,
he came
"Yeah,
over
bring me the dance with the scene."
Exactly.
Right? Sure. I'd love to have something like that. You asked whose garage sale would I want to go to?
Who would you want to go to if you go to any garage sale?
What a great question.
And it could be of any time.
Yeah,
It's not just Tom Petty. It could be at any time, any person. They might have been dead for 50 years.
Oh, wow.
Lauren, do you have one? I know who yours would be.
Oh, you do?
Taylor Swift.
No.
No, good.
I would want
You go to
someone with really
Beyonce's.
eclectic stuff. I'm nervous to say it because she's still alive, but
Well, they could
if
still be
Betsy
alive.
Johnson has an estate sale, how fun would that be?
Who's Betsy
You know,
Johnson?
you know who Betsy Johnson? She's a
Oh my
designer.
gosh. Yeah.
Ryan
Designer,
used to
fun.
work for her.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. Got a picture of Ryan and Betsy
gosh.
Johnson together.
She just has the craziest
What does she
jewelry, shoes, dresses.
When 50-year-old women want to look like they're 20, they put on a Betsy Johnson dress.
Nice.
Yes.
Right?
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of
that's it.
polka dots.
A lot of polka dots, a
I
lot
approve of
of
that.
loud, bright, flashy, beautiful.
I
Yeah.
think her hair is currently bright pink.
Okay.
She's like in her 70s.
Nice.
I would just die to see what the inside of her house looks
Yeah, she doesn't
like.
have to die to have an estate sale. You can just
yeah.
just call it a garage sale. Who would you do, Spike? Who would
Bruce.
you go?
I go to Bruce's garage sale.
Bruce.
I would Springsteen. Yeah.
Oh, Springsteen. Yeah.
Not Bruce Hornsby. I couldn't care less.
Bruce Hornsby.
Bruce Springsteen.
He'd have some good stuff.
Bruce? Well, yeah, I would think.
A
Yeah.
lot of cool tour stuff.
Yeah.
Expensive stuff. That guy's rich.
I'd take a washcloth from Bruce.
Would you
More
pay-
if it
would you
wasn't
pay
clean.
for it?
Yeah. More if it was dirty and unlaundered. Come on,
gross.
that'd be great.
Gross. Sinatra.
A pillowcase with his sweat on it.
I'd want to go to Sinatra's.
Oh,
Wouldn't that be
look
cool?
at you. That's a great
Just
idea.
a cool, just buy just one tiny little thing that's cool,
Out there in Palm Springs.
like a salt shaker, or
right?
anything. So
Right.
that's what Sinatra
a
salt
swizzle
shaker.
stick. Right?
That was his swizzle stick.
Yeah.
Used to mix drinks in that.
Oh, that's great.
All right, we got a lot more coming up. We got your text messages next. We've got we can play this video too. There's a mountain in Italy. Tourists are climbing up the side of it. Very popular spot, and then it starts erupting. And the tourists had to run. It's great.
A lava
crazy
race.
video. Yeah,
Come to the annual lava race in Italy.
we'll show it to you next. Stick around. We'll be right back.
This hour is brought to you by Sharp Vision Modern LASIK and Lens.
G. Scott here with former Seahawks Cliff Averill and Doug Baldwin.
I heard you guys are having a celebrity pickleball tournament to raise money for Nourishing Champions. Why pickleball?
Obviously, it's a growing sport, but also this model is that we will actually be playing with community.
We are the most competitive people, so regardless of how sorry Doug might be, he will be out there competing like it's a Super Bowl.
Sign up for the Celebrity Pickleball Tournament, open to all skill levels. For details, go to championsofchangefoundation.org/pickleball. Memorial Day weekend is a time to honor and remember those who serve for the United States Armed Forces. The holiday weekend is also the unofficial start to summer and brings people outside for boating, barbecues, and get-togethers. My friend Jonathan from DUI Heroes says DUI arrests increase around holiday weekends. If you or someone you know is pulled over for DUI, contact DUI Heroes immediately. Your DUI defense specialist, 1-800-DUI-HERO. That number is answered 24/7. DUIHeroes.com.
Hi, it's John Curley. Longevity Medical Clinic has been helping people live longer, healthier lives for more than 25 years. I've recently talked with Dr. Mixon about his approach to proactively focusing on prevention. Dr. Mixon, I first met you in 2009, and I went in there and I told you I wasn't feeling well, couldn't gain any muscle mass, couldn't sleep well, I was stressed out, and you looked at me and you said, yeah, I know what your problem is.
And all we did was we measured your values and we moved your values back to those of a nice, healthy 25-year-old man.
I have taken your blood work to my doctor, and he was shocked. He couldn't believe the depth in which you study my blood.
We need to draw a distinction between living a long time and getting old. And that's what longevity is all about, is we are here to do the measurements and help you fix those problems.
So get your free health analysis. Go to longevitymedicalclinic.com. That's longevitymedicalclinic.com.
Well, this week's First Mark Challenge victory goes to Norm. Norm, why did you call First Mark Insurance?
Spending too much money on insurance, and it just kept on going up higher and higher and higher. And this last time I did the First Mark Challenge.
So they were able to save you some money, Norm?
Oh, yeah, at least $2,000 a year.
What?
At least.
Wow. You ever feel like, man, I wish I would have taken that First Mark Challenge earlier?
Yes. I mean, $2,000 I could have saved a year, over probably 4 or 5 years. Wow.
How would you describe their customer service?
Fantastic. Beyond expectation. Call First Mark. They treat you like a real person, that they have your best interest in mind.
Norm did it. My family did it. You got to do it. And it's totally free. Go take the First Mark Challenge. See how much money they can save you like they did Norm, and how much better your coverage will get to. Maybe you will be our next First Mark Challenge victory I get to talk to. Just go to firstmarkinsurance.com. First Mark Insurance. They work for you.
It's a new year, but many seniors are struggling with the same old problem: high prices and rising property taxes. We're here with our friend Steve Teitler of Best Mortgage, and he says a reverse mortgage may be the answer.
Many seniors cannot afford to stay in the home they love. A reverse mortgage gives them access to equity in their home without having to sell. They can pay off their mortgage if they have one, and maybe pull some extra cash out of their home. And best of all, they have no mortgage payment the rest of their life.
But as you always say, a reverse mortgage is not for everyone.
That's right. Avoid the high-pressure sales pitch from those out-of-state call centers. I give you a consultation, not a sales pitch. I'll tell you if a reverse mortgage is right for you, and I always tell you if it's not.
Honest advice you can trust from the reverse mortgage experts. Best Mortgage. The VA loan experts and debt consolidation specialists too. 425-649-6000. Best Mortgage. 425-649-6000.
Patrick was way behind on his IRS taxes.
I was in way over my head. The total amount ended up being somewhere just over $30,000. $30,000.
Then the IRS came to collect.
Started getting letter after letter. A lien had been filed against me. They were going to basically hang me completely out to dry.
He had to do something.
That's when I reached out to Optima Tax Relief.
Patrick's life quickly got a lot easier.
It was very easy, pretty much hands off. They picked up the ball and ran with it.
And how'd it go?
I couldn't believe it. I had to ask 2 or 3 times. I saved an incredible amount of money.
How does Patrick feel about Optima?
Couldn't be happier. They definitely helped me. Optima Tax Relief, the best place to call. They're the best in the business.
Do what Patrick did and call Optima Tax Relief for a free consultation. Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Testimonial from an actual client. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Many split systems give you efficient zoned heating and cooling comfort for less. Call Home Comfort Alliance for a free consultation and easy 18-month zero-interest financing. Visit HomeComfortAlliance.com today.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM. Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and MyNorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Aaron Granillo. She is a well-known firebrand in local politics.
Because when we fight, we win. When we fight, we win.
And now, former Seattle City Council member Shama Sawant is taking her message to the congressional campaign trail.
Sawant has entered the race to challenge Representative Adam Smith for Washington's 9th congressional district in the 2026 midterm election. She made it clear she's unhappy with both the Republicans and Democrats. She pledged her campaign would push free health care for all. She also made repeated references to Smith, a ranking member of the House Armed Services Committee, as a warmonger.
I'm not in the business of lying to the working class. I don't go around giving guarantees. What I do tell working people is that we can win if we fight, so let's fight.
Scott Carty, KIRO News Radio.
More Microsoft workers are getting pink slips. The company reported it to the state. It plans to lay off another 305 local workers this August. This is in addition to previous cuts announced last month, totaling about 6,000 employees company-wide. Here in Washington, these latest layoffs bring the total number of job cuts to nearly 2,300 in recent weeks. A dozen people stabbed at a homeless shelter in the Northwest.
Of the 12, 5 remain hospitalized with serious injuries.
Angela Hendrick is with the police department in Salem, Oregon, where the attack happened last night. A 42-year-old Bend man is in custody. No motive as of yet. Handguns, rifles, and shotguns. Bellevue police say they took in 87 firearms at the department's first ever gun buyback event over the weekend. Major David Sanabria says many of those gun owners simply didn't need or want them anymore.
One person had purchased a couple of revolvers early in their life and had them for 30 or 40 years and had done nothing with them. And was just looking for an opportunity to dispose of them safely.
Says police are running serial numbers to see if any of those weapons were stolen. Others turned in antique guns. In exchange, Bellevue PD gave out nearly $13,000 in gift cards. We turn now to the Beacon Plumbing Traffic Desk at 2:32. This report is brought to you by AAA. Crews have just wrapped up some road repair work on southbound I-5 in the last hour. This is near Grand Mound. They will be back tomorrow, and there are some lengthy delays expected again tomorrow in the morning. Got some debris on SR 167 northbound. This is right near Sumner. The right lane is blocked right now, causing some backups approaching Edgewood and Pacific. Otherwise, the map right around average for this time of day, looking at about a 45-minute drive from Renton to Puyallup, Bellevue to Renton, about a 35-minute drive with some pretty good backups out of downtown Bellevue right now. Had an earlier crash on westbound I-90 approaching Rainier Avenue. That is cleared, but still seeing a little minor backup mid-span over the floating bridge on I-90. Linwood to Seattle, about a 35-minute drive. You know what's fun? Summer. You know what's not fun? Summer spent on the side of the highway. Join AAA Washington today and keep your summer moving. Your forecast now brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. A nice afternoon today, mostly sunny, with highs in the upper 60s, even warmer as the week goes on with low 70s tomorrow and Wednesday, mid-70s Thursday and Friday. Right now, 68 in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
All right, welcome back to the show. We got a lot of stuff to get to. We're going to play just a little bit. We got your text messages right now, but in just a little bit, we're going to play this really crazy video. This was at Mount Etna. This is in on the Italian island of Sicily. Apparently, it's the most active volcano in Europe, and it started blowing its top while the tourists were up there.
And people are walking and touring this. It's a guided tour or a public tourism
if you're
tour.
not, yeah, it's crazy.
Or an active volcano, the most active volcano in Europe.
In Europe, yeah. So in just a little bit, we'll watch this together. So if you're not on YouTube, you want to get over there, check our live show out. Go to YouTube, search KIRO News Radio, and the Jake and Spike Show Live is going to pop up for you. We'll watch that together in a few minutes. But right now, we have a bunch of your text messages. Lori, you want to start us off here?
Sure do. On watching classic movies with your kids, Ryan in the 253 says, I watched Star Wars in order of release with my daughter when she was little. She gasped and could not believe the I am your father moment. She screamed, no!
Nice.
Oh, that's perfect.
Fantastic. Love it.
Bonnie says, dude, I just had the best experience watching Sandlot with my 4-year-old for the first time. His favorite pair of shoes are black and white because they make him run fast. I told him about Benny the Jet Rodriguez, and he was so...
The Sandlot we watched that. That was such a huge movie for me when I was a kid.
Yeah?
I was like the perfect age. I was the exact age as those kids when the movie came out. So that was like the movie when I was a kid. Like the movie, you go over to your friend's house and all the sleepovers, like, what do you guys want to watch? It's always The Sandlot. Either that or Three Ninjas. So we watched that with my kids a couple years ago, and they went nuts for it. It's just, Sandlot's a perfect movie. It's a perfect movie.
Yeah, it is.
And even though they like chew tobacco in it and all this stuff, it's still the best. It's so funny. And I highly recommend it. So good job, Bonnie.
For me, do Christmas films count? Christmas count?
Of course.
For me, it's How the Grinch Stole Christmas.
The cartoon?
The cartoon.
Yeah, it's
the Boris Karloff, Dr. Seuss.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
Yeah, and my kids still to this day. It's not holiday season until we watch it together.
Christmas is so fun. I mean, like, I'm excited. I'm already excited
Traditions
for Christmas
are the best.
because I'm excited for the movies.
Yep.
It's such a huge part. I love it so much. All right, on Northern Lights, which might be visible tonight for your iPhone, T. and Conway says the camera has the ability to pick up colors that the eyes just cannot. The solar storm in May 2024 was one of the rare events that you could actually see with the naked eye. The chances of seeing an aurora event that the news promotes that the aurora will be out is as accurate as the one saying that the Mariners will make the playoffs. It's hit or miss, mostly miss. Thank you, T. and Conway. You're probably right.
And on Mariners number 51, Doug in Mount Vernon says, times are tough in baseball. Number 51 had to come out of retirement, then retire again.
Yeah. Very good.
That's true. I think both those guys deserve to have their number retired by the ball club. We were talking about with Sully, and Randy Johnson, to his credit, he won the first Cy Young in Mariner history here.
Sure.
Right? Through the first no-hitter in Mariner history here.
Sure.
He won 4 Cy Youngs in a row in Arizona and a World Series. He's named World Series MVP.
Is he? So you're saying he's more of a D-back than a Mariner?
I can't blame him for wanting to go in as a D-back.
Yeah, I don't either. I think it makes sense.
Yeah.
Go for it.
All right, Ty Milton says, better not take it away from Ichiro and give it to Randy Johnson. Randy retired a giant. This guy's still bitter. He was an international attraction that brought tourists to Seattle, and he retired a Mariner, speaking of Ichiro. Yeah.
Joey in the 253 says, because we posed that question to the audience, if they could only choose one player to represent the number 51, or I guess 151 to represent a player, who should it be retired for? Joey in 253 says Ichiro. Longevity. Not only were his best years with the Mariners, almost all of his years were with them. That's a good point. Thank you, Joey.
Terrence in the 509, you can only retire so many numbers before you run out.
Ask the Yankees about that, yeah. 206 reminded me of this, and I had forgotten this. So the Seahawks let Jerry Rice wear number 80 for a year after they had retired it for Steve Largent.
Is that true?
Yes, Jerry Rice played 1 year in Seattle at the end of his career. And he, being number 80 of the 49ers and a Hall of Famer and the NFL's all-time leading receiver, he was granted the honor of wearing number 80 for the Seahawks.
Steve Largent must have been...
He must have asked him.
Approached about that.
Would
you mind?
I would think so, too. And what do you say for Steve Largent? Jerry Rice asks.
Jerry Rice, absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
For sure. All right, let's see here. Benny the Tugboat Expert says... All right, this seems harsh, but this is from
Okay.
Benny. This is not me. Randy Johnson is a first-class jerk. So the choice is easy. Hey, Jake, you should see if you can find Dory's story about meeting Johnson and play it on the air. I remember the story about Dory meeting Johnson.
Can you paraphrase it?
I can paraphrase. Dory had the unfortunate job of picking Randy Johnson up for an interview that they were going to be doing.
Okay.
And I believe he might have been with King 5 at the time. I'm not fully certain what year it was. But Dory had to pick him up and drive him to some event. And he said that Randy Johnson was a pretty standoffish guy. Like he was not there to talk with the help, basically.
We treated Dory like an Uber driver.
Well, I don't think he's literally sitting next to him in the passenger seat. Dory's driving Randy Johnson, who's probably folding himself into whatever car Dory was driving at the time.
It's true.
But still, Dory was like, he was not, super gregarious and...
I'm sorry to hear that.
Which, whatever. That's
When sending reporters into a swarm of bees, Robbie in Oak Harbor says, you send Nate out to Whatcom County, tell him it's important to be on his best behavior. Thank you, Robbie.
Very nice. Let's see here. Laura in Pierce County says, Laura, check KIRO and Q13 for those only. Those are the only two news channels I watch, and I saw that the footage you were talking about. Nope. He looked like he was on the side of a freeway swatting at them, and they were attacking him and the camera guy.
So I'm not crazy, because
So
Kara,
you
the
did see
cleaning
it.
lady, saw it too. He was wearing a red coat and getting dive bombed, Kara said. That's exactly what I saw. Although a few other texters pointed out that Denise Whitaker of Como was out giving reports on the bees, and she got stung. We actually have it on, it's like on in the report.
Oh, that's great.
Thank you to Veronica in the 206.
I mean, not that she got stung, but that's funny. Yeah, and she's fine. She's not allergic to bees. Otherwise,
Oh,
they wouldn't sting her.
and which pro athlete should Laura date? 425 says Laura should marry a golfer. Warm climates, worldwide travel, longevity of career.
The longevity of career is true. The average PGA salary, though, is only $35,000 a year.
Marry a good golfer.
So you got to, marry a good golfer.
Easy
That would
on
be
the
the
knees.
caveat. Yeah, and you can play. You play that game forever, and you can play it together.
Yeah.
Not like a pro golfer wants to play with his non-professional wife, though. That would be tedious. But it's a good sport to be married to. I think that's who you should choose, Laura. All right, we got a lot more coming up. We got one more segment. We got a video we're going to show you and some other fun stuff. Stick around. We'll be right back.
It's all too common of an occurrence. You need some work done on your home, so you call 3 contractors. Someone didn't even show up to provide an estimate. Another gave you a quote that changed twice. So you settle on the third, who left behind a mess you're still trying to clean up. At Valentine Roofing, we know you don't just want someone to complete your job. You deserve the one, because it's your home and you want it done right. Skip the headaches. Valentine Roofing is the one. At Valentine, we take pride in what we call the Valentine experience. It's 3 simple principles we focus on every day: seamless communication, meticulous cleanup, and going the extra mile. So next time you need work done on your home's exterior, remember who the one is. Valentine Roofing is the one who provides hassle-free estimates within about an hour of our arrival. We're the one who stands behind our work with a lifetime warranty, and we're the one who truly cares about your Valentine experience. So for all your roofing, siding, and gutter needs, schedule your free estimate today with the one, Valentine Roofing, by calling us at 206 Roofing.
Hey, it's Mike Rohn. If I have a choice, I like to do business with companies that actually stand for something. That's why I switched from Verizon to Pure Talk. No offense to Verizon, I'm sure they stand for something. I just don't know what it is. Pure Talk, on the other hand, is a veteran-owned company that supports our military in a big way, and I appreciate that. Yeah, I also appreciate unlimited talk and text and plenty of data for half the cost of the big guys, and I do like being on America's most dependable 5G network for just $20 a month, but what I really appreciate is no contract, no cancellation fees, and Pure Talk's commitment to handle all their customer service in this country. I saw it for myself. I went to Georgia, I got a tour of their headquarters, I met their CEO, and I talked to the same customer service folks that you'll talk to when you dial pound 250 and say keyword micro. Switch today and save 50% off your first month when you dial pound 250 and say keyword micro. Pure Talk, a wireless company that actually stands for something.
Hey, I want to tell you a sellwithwes.com success story. Wes Jones knows how important your home sale can be for your future plans. So when he got a call from Susan in Federal Way, he was eager to step up and help her sell her home of 25 years.
Her house was her biggest asset, and this home sale was super meaningful for her. So she's like, I know that I'm leaving money on the table in the condition that it's in. Like, what can we do?
I told him up front that I did not have the time or finances to do what needed to be done. And he immediately jumped in with, well, I do.
He told her about their Listing Boost concierge service.
We identified probably 4 or 5 major things.
It just was all so fast. They did everything.
I'm a son of a builder, and I've done a lot of flips over the years. So this is work that we actually like to do. We are seeking this out.
And I would just tell anybody, here's his phone number, give him a call. He'll take care of it.
So if you're in the market to sell your home, do what Susan did. Check out Wes Jones and his team at sellwithwes.com. Sell with Wes, a better way to sell your home.
Concur Technologies seeks developer at their Bellevue, Washington location to be responsible for development focusing on design, coding, testing, and quality assurance of specific SAP product features in a development team. Hybrid work model, 15% domestic and international travel required. Base salary is between $137,259 and $166,500. $0. Health insurance, 401k, and other benefits located at sapnorthamericabenefits.com. Total compensation of base salary plus incentives is between $137,259 and $185,000. Apply at jobs.sap.com. Use requisition ID 424256. Again, apply at jobs.sap.com. Use requisition ID 424256.
If you want that summer body you've always dreamed of, then this message is for you, ladies, and you men too. Get rid of extra stubborn fat and address areas of loose skin around the waistline, chin, and under the upper arms with ProSculpt, the new one-day instant permanent fat removal and skin tightening treatment. Maybe you've tried the lasers, fat freezing methods, even those new pills, but without the desired results. ProSculpt is different. It's minimally invasive, performed while fully awake, gentle, yet powerful. Designed to target the waistline, chin, neck, arms, and thighs, ProSculpt uses FDA-cleared plasma technology to deliver immediate, permanent fat-reducing and skin-tightening results, all in just one visit. If you want that summer body this summer, then you must act now. Go to ProSculpt.com today to schedule your free consultation. Get $250 off. For instant, permanent fat reduction and skin tightening, visit ProSculpt.com.
Stop feeling embarrassed about thinning hair and start looking and feeling your best with Hair Grow by New Nordic. Available online at Amazon, Walmart.com, and NewNordicUSA.com, or at your local CVS.
Charlie Harger here. When your hot turns to cold, you better think fast. Fast water heater. Call 1-800-THINK-FAST. That's 1-800-THINK-FAST or fastwaterheater.com.
You better think fast. Fast water heater.
The team that gave me back my full head of hair, Advanced Hair, is once again the winner of the 425 Business of the Year. Dr. Perongo and his world-class team begin regrowing your own natural hair the very next day. And Advanced Hair guarantees your new hair will grow, just like they did for me. Find out why Advanced Hair is the best of the best. With your free consultation, you'll receive $250 off and 250 free hair grafts. 425-449-8185 or advancedhair.com.
All right, welcome back to the show. I saw this video. I think this is going around the internets today. Everybody's kind of amazed at this video. I'd never actually heard of Mount Etna, but it's apparently the largest active volcano in all of Europe. It's on Sicily, and it's a big tourist spot. People can hike up and they can go and check it out. Imagine, Mount St. Helens, but Mount St. Helens is blown its top recently, so people are not as scared of it.
Right.
This is apparently an active volcano.
The most active volcano in all of Europe.
Yeah, so it's something that you wouldn't want to take lightly. You're going to climb up there thinking that there is a chance it could blow. So we have some video here. This is, and some audio too, I believe. And this is folks on the mountain, and it starts blowing. Oh, here we go here. The plume of smoke is massive.
And there are people running downhill.
Can you imagine? Oh my gosh, look at that.
These people should genuinely be afraid for their lives.
It looks like it looks fake to me. It's so unbelievable. It's like 4K video. Cameras are so good these days. Yeah, it looks like what I imagine Pompeii would have looked like back in the day.
Right.
That's scary.
It's funny. I was when you brought this story in, and we were talking about a couple minutes ago. I'm like, well, who would hike on an active volcano? These people are nuts. And then I thought back. We did. We went to.
Oh, you did?
We went to Volcanoes National Park in Hawaii, and it was
go up to Kilauea. Or
we did.
Yeah.
And we walked the lava fields, and they had active lava flows that were roped off. You couldn't get too near them, but you could sit
it's
there.
a thin crust. A lot of people can you can break through.
I'm thinking, okay, so I'm that stupid idiot who watched hot lava roll into the sea. They have it rolling downhill and dump it in the Pacific there, and steam is going in the whole 9 yards.
But that's a different kind of volcano. There's the ones that build up and are explosive. It's all about plate tectonics for where you are. So the ones that are building islands like Hawaii, they're constantly kind of oozing, or Iceland's like this.
Mhm.
They're constantly oozing lava, and there's no real risk of like a buildup and then a huge
Of a
Mount
massive
St. Helens
major eruption.
explosion.
Okay.
Whereas when it's
volcanologist, I
plates
didn't realize.
running under, tectonic plates running underneath each other, like we have on that ring of fire,
Yeah.
then, yeah, it's kind of like at any moment, boom.
I guess that's part of the appeal. If you were to climb up something like this, there's kind of a titillating danger factor where you think to yourself like, oh, this is kind of dangerous. This might be fun. We're taking a tiny bit of a risk. Mostly it's just a walk in a hot place.
It was a walk and
But
see.
there's
You
a
can see the
little
flow.
risk involved, which
Yeah.
makes it feel fun. There's some momentum to it. But then this thing starts blowing.
That's a major eruption. You know, you can come back and if you get a chance, if you're not joining us on the YouTube channel, come back later today and watch this. That's a fear for your life, run for your life kind of an eruption. That's not a burp.
Can you imagine being up there with like I mean, I only ever go outdoors like this when I'm with my family. Being with your family on something like this, my wife would be so upset at me. I don't know why
for taking the boys.
She would blame me if this blew up.
Well, sure
She'd
she
be
would.
like, "Why
Didn't you check
tell
the
us that-"
schedule?
Yeah, you didn't tell us it was supposed to blow. You know, I saw a couple years ago, maybe a year ago. I was watching. We all went to we went with the entire family. We went to Yellowstone and we did all the Yellowstone stuff, which is a ton of fun. But Yellowstone is like a giant supervolcano that you're walking on top of, which is why all the ground around it is all like, you know, geysers, and hot sulfur stuff. And there you're also supposed to be really careful because if you walk on areas that you're not supposed to, the ground is very crust-like and you could fall into like scalding water.
Boiling water, yeah, scalding water.
But I was watching one of these people had gone on this geyser and we had been there like 2 weeks before and they were out on those long boardwalks. Have you ever been to Yellowstone?
Yeah. The boardwalks.
You go out on the long boardwalks that like take you deep into the geyser areas, and one of those started going crazy. And they were like, "Yeah, we don't know when it's going to blow. It could blow every hour, or it could blow once every 40 years." And one of those just starts going crazy and sending like scalding hot water, and everyone just books it and starts running. But you never assume it's going to happen when you're when you're the one out there. You think you're going to be safe.
Yeah. Otherwise, why would they build a walkway?
Yeah, it's
why would
safe.
they let people buy tickets? There's a guy here in khaki shorts and a funny hat.
Yeah.
Of course it's safe.
You got sunscreen on. That's all the protection you need. You're going to be fine. It's crazy.
We hugged up St. Helens. We hiked up to the rim of St. Helens.
That must have taken forever.
It was a while ago. It was a good 30 years ago.
Okay.
I was new to town. I was a much younger man.
Yeah, but that would have been right after it blew.
It was a few years after it blew. It was safe to hike again. And we took a bunch of radio listeners up with us.
We just had the 40th anniversary, right?
Yeah. So we
45th.
It was about
45th anniversary. Sorry.
So it was 10, 15 years after it had gone. You know, so it was calm. But the lava dome was growing inside the crater. You know, they showed pictures of what it was, and it's been growing steadily ever since because there's still pressure underneath that thing. But the thought that it would blow was not that wasn't a positive for me. I didn't even think about that it could blow. There was no heightened sense of danger and adventure. That wasn't
part of the draw.
No, it's not. No.
Would you have gone if you had known how active it is? Because it's a very active volcano still.
I probably would have used that to bail on the trip.
Yeah.
Having known.
Yeah.
You know, but you're young and dumb. You do fun things. I'm glad I did it. You know, it was an all-day hike up, and then you slid down.
I'm always amazed when you look at Mount St. Helens, when you look at what it used to look like.
Yeah.
It used to look like Tahoe. It was beautiful.
Yes.
They had summer camps, and they had like cool things. And when you go up there now, it's just this hellish nothing. It's just dead.
It was moonscape for years and years after the eruption from the devastation. And the whole side of the mountain kicked out.
Didn't they have a boys and girls camp there? Like a boys and girls, what is that, the Boys and Girls Club? They had
I don't know.
It's some sort of
before I got here.
a national camp up there.
Okay.
And they cleared it out just so, because they knew that it was going to explode. And so they went up there, and there's like, I watched this recently somewhere. They went up to the cabins where they hosted this summer camp for all the Boys and Girls Clubs to come to. And they had all these kayaks and all this like water fun stuff back in the late 70s, early 80s.
Yeah. And when they knew the mountain was continually
And they said, hey, there's a good chance it's going to blow, so we're going to go in here. We're going to clear everything out. And so they cleared everything out. They have like, they took all the kayaks and got them all out of there just in case it blew. And then like the next day it exploded. And the whole thing just wiped off the map. But they could have been full of kids, which I wouldn't send them. I wouldn't send my kids on a mountain that's blown up.
Well, there was heightened activity prior to that eruption. The inmates took some. Thank goodness.
That makes me parent of the year.
Thank you for USGS.
Yeah.
Who knew? It was time to move the kids out and move the canoes elsewhere.
Thank you guys so much for listening today. Thanks for hanging out with us. We got a lot of great stuff coming up tomorrow. Good start to the week. Very good start to the week. Good weather ahead. Enjoy the sun. We'll see you back here tomorrow. Bye-bye.
The first place you turn to for breaking news.
Protest outside City Hall.
KIRO News Radio.
James Lynch begins our team coverage live at City Hall.
Now, we are told by SPD that 4 people have been arrested for assault. For more on the counter-protesters, we go to Scott Carty.
See a group of another 10 officers come down the steps.
Closures now extended from Washington closer to the stadiums.
KIRO News Radio on 97.3 FM and download the KIRO News Radio app to listen anytime.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Gain a global perspective and specialized skills that many of today's top employers are seeking with an MBA from University of Maryland Global Campus. Study online and complete your degree in just 16 months for about $21K. Choose from MBA specializations in global business, marketing, HR, finance, and more. Classes start June 11th. Learn more at umgc.edu. That's umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chev.
Whatever temperatures this summer brings, your friendly and knowledgeable Bryant dealer is ready to help. Your dealer is committed to achieving a high level of training, and skills are backed by outstanding products from one of the industry's most trusted names, Bryant. So whether you need a quick fix or an entirely new cooling system, your local Bryant dealer will do whatever it takes for your family's comfort.
Schedule an appointment today. For a dealer near you, visit BryantNorthwest.com. Bryant, whatever it takes.
Did you know in Washington State, you can see a physical therapist without a referral from your doctor? That's right. Thanks to Direct Access, you can skip the wait and get the